Oops, no. Okay. All right. So we are about to watch this. The title says, okay. All right. Echo, sorry. We're about to watch this. The title says commentary and reaction. So I will be talking when I feel like it. And I know that I'll have a smaller audience because it's going to be the ones we already enjoy ourselves back and forth talking. That's fine. But yeah, we're here to watch the trial. I already know the verdict, but I didn't watch the trial yet because I had things I had to do. So we're going to start watching some of it today. And then we'll watch it in pieces as my schedule allows. So this is probably going to be a rewatch for a lot of y'all, but I like this stuff. So here I am. All right, so we're gonna get started. It's day one, part one for us, because we're not gonna finish 7 hours and 41 minutes of the stuff today. But all right, so let's go ahead and see what's going on.
Ready.
Okay. Sir, if you please stand and face the jurors. Sir, you are placed at bar for the trial, charged with one count of strangulation or suffocation, in that it is alleged that on December 2nd, 2025, you did strangle or suffocate, as defined in General Laws, Chapter 265, Section 15D-A, Mila Adams, in violation of General Laws, Chapter 265, Section 15D-B, in one count of assault and battery, and that it is alleged that on December 2nd, 2025, that you did assault and beat Mila Adams in violation of General Laws, Chapter 265, Section 13AA. And these good jurors whom I shall call are to pass between the Commonwealth and you upon your trial. If you should object to any of the jurors, you will do so after their names are called and before they are sworn. You have the right to challenge two of the jurors without giving any reason for doing so, and as many more of the jurors as you shall have good cause to challenge. You may be seated, sir. Will the jurors please stand and raise your right hands? Do each of you severally and solemnly swear or affirm that you will give true answers to all questions put to you by the court or at its direction, so help you God? Okay. You may be seated. At this time, I'm going to introduce the attorneys on this matter, as well as potential witnesses that you may hear from. Representing the Commonwealth is Assistant District Attorney Drew Virtue.
Good morning. My name is Drew Virtue. I'm an Assistant District Attorney with the Norfolk District Attorney's Office, and it's going to be my job today to present evidence to you supporting the defendant's guilt. Thank you.
Representing the...
He needs to use a mic. If he is going to have opening statements, he needs to use a mic because I'm not going to be able to hear him.
Defendant is Attorney Andrew Kettlewell and Attorney Sarah Silva.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andrew Kettlewell. Together with my partner, Sarah Silva, we have a law firm in Boston. The privilege of representing Stefon Davis.
And potential witnesses that you may hear from. As I call your name, if you just please stand and face the jurors briefly. Jamila Adams of Georgia. Officer Kenneth Ellis, Dedham Police Department. Anna Kokolis, Sandy Spring, Maryland. Melissa Goddard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Michael Perry, Boston, Massachusetts. Janelle Sales of Virginia Beach, Virginia. And potential witnesses who you may hear from who are not present: Juliana Stratati of Foxborough, Massachusetts. Stephanie Anastasi of Methuen, Massachusetts. Natalia Moses of New York, New York. And Zia Charles of New York, New York. And the potential witnesses may be seated. Presiding over this trial is the Honorable Justice Jean Marie Carroll.
Thank you. Good morning. I am Judge Carroll. Thank you for being here today. As you have heard, we are about to choose a jury for a criminal trial. The defendant, Stefon Diggs, has pleaded not guilty to the charges of strangulation and assault and battery. To assist you in planning, the lawyers estimate that this matter will take 2 to 3 days to try and present all of the evidence. The jury will then meet to discuss and consider the evidence and issues in the case, which we call deliberation, and to reach a decision, which we call a verdict. There is no set time for a jury to decide a case. It will be up to the jury to take all the time it needs. During the trial, while evidence is being presented, our schedule will be to take our lunch and recess between 1 and 2 o'clock and shorter recesses during the day as necessary or convenient. We generally recess for the day by 4:30 p.m. And of course, a trial that does not conclude today would be resumed tomorrow morning and jurors expected to return. The prosecution in this case alleges that on December 2nd, 2025, Stefon Diggs slapped and choked Mila Adams in her bedroom at 7 Schoolmaster Lane in Dedham, Massachusetts. The defendant denies these allegations and has pleaded not guilty to the charges. To prove the defendant guilty of the offense of strangulation, the Commonwealth must prove 3 things beyond a reasonable doubt. First, that the defendant intentionally applied pressure on the throat or neck of Mila Adams. Second, that the pressure was substantial. And third, that the pressure interfered with the normal breathing circulation of blood of Mila Adams. In order to prove the defendant guilty of committing an intentional assault and battery, the Commonwealth must prove 3 things beyond a reasonable doubt. First, that the defendant touched the person of Mila Adams. Second, that the defendant intended to touch Mila Adams. And third, that the touching was either likely to cause bodily harm to Mila Adams or was offensive. Now, jurors, as we begin today, first and foremost, I instruct you that all parties stand as equals before the bar of justice. All parties are entitled to a fair and impartial jury. That is, jurors who will fairly evaluate the evidence, follow the law as instructed, and render a fair and just verdict based solely on the evidence presented at this trial. Jurors, of course, are expected to bring their own life experiences, thoughts, opinions, beliefs, and common sense to this court and the deliberation room. Everyone, including me, makes assumptions and forms opinions arising from our own personal backgrounds and experiences. These biases or assumptions may have to do with any number of things, including an individual's race, color, nationality, ethnicity, age, disability, socioeconomic status, religious beliefs, gender, or sexual orientation. I instruct you that a verdict must not be based on any such bias, including conscious or subconscious bias. Whether conscious or subconscious bias can affect how we evaluate information and make decisions. It can impact what we see and hear, how we remember what we see and hear, how we make important decisions, and may even cause us to make generalizations or to prejudge. While each of you brings your unique life experience with you to court today, as jurors, you must be alert to recognize whether any potential bias might impact your ability to fairly and impartially evaluate the evidence in this case, follow my instructions, and render a fair and just verdict that is based solely on the evidence presented in this case. I will now ask you to respond to some questions that will assist us in obtaining a fair and impartial jury. If your answer to my question is yes, please hold up your juror card and the court officer will read your juror number out loud. At the end of my questions, you will be called up to the judge's bench one at a time so that the attorneys and I might speak further with you. Now, there are 4 fundamental principles that you must follow in this case. The first principle is that the defendant is presumed to be innocent. The second principle is that the Commonwealth must prove the defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. If it does not, the jury must find the defendant not guilty. The third principle is that a defendant has no burden to present any evidence and has an absolute right not to testify. If a defendant does not testify, you may not use it against him in deciding the case. The fourth principle is that the jury must follow the law as the judge explains it. Is there anyone here who does not understand or agree to follow these four fundamental principles? No affirmative response. Do any of you know or are you related to the defendant? No affirmative responses. Do you know or are you related to any of the attorneys or any of the witnesses whose names have been announced? No affirmative answers. Have you read or heard anything about this case?
Just hold them straight up, jurors. Thank you. Juror number.
That would have been me, because definitely already had heard about it, not even in that state. And also, when she asked about the bias, I have a bias and I'm aware of the bias. The verdict, yes, the verdict said that. I'll respond in the chat.
46. And when I call you number, please put your card down, okay? Juror number 32. Juror number 25. Juror number 41. Juror number 42. Juror number 55. Juror number 6. Juror number 4. Juror number 43. Juror number 16. Juror number 18. Juror number 44. Juror number 13. Juror number 27. Juror number 7. Juror number 22. Juror number 17. Juror number 21. Juror number 58. Juror number 34. Juror number 51.
Number 29, number 49, number 47, number 45, number 54, number 35, number 36, number 14, and number 8.
Do you have an interest that would be affected by the outcome of this case? No affirmative responses. Have you expressed or formed any opinions about this case?
Juror number 27.
Are you aware of any bias or prejudice you have towards either the defendant or the prosecution?
Number 37,
Do you know of any reason why you would not be fair and impartial in this case or able to render a true and just verdict based solely on the evidence and the law?
Juror number 13.
Is there any reason, for example, personal concerns, difficulty with English, physical or medical concerns, or religious or ethical beliefs that would make it difficult for you to be a juror?
juror number 42, juror number 41, juror number 26, juror number 50, juror number 23, number 37.
Would you believe the testimony of a law enforcement officer, either more or less than the testimony of another witness, simply because the person is a law enforcement officer?
Juror number 19. Juror number 50. Juror number 23. Juror number 43.
Is he calling out the numbers of the people that was like, yes, if they're a law enforcement officer, it will influence my judgment? Is that what they're doing? So when she said something, they're like, all right, these people said yes, they would.
Are you a close member of your family or a close friend employed in an area related to law enforcement or criminal defense?
Juror number 32. Juror number 43. Juror number 23.
Juror number 22. Juror number 24. Juror number 38. Juror number 34.
Number 9. Number 49. Number 54. Number 35. Number 36. Number 14.
Do you believe that if a person is arrested or charged with a crime, they must be guilty? No affirmative responses. Have you, a close family member or a close friend, been involved in a situation with domestic abuse or violence or with a related court matter such as a Chapter 209A abuse prevention order?
Juror number 50. Juror number 41.
Juror number 24.
Number 37. Number 29. Number 54. Number 28.
Okay. I ain't never seen them pick jurors like right there. Oh, yes, I have. I did jury duty. It was for a traffic thing though. And they swiftly kicked me out of jury duty because of my answer. Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead now.
That there was an conclusion of evidence arguing. Yes, Your Honor. I think the only
We're ready to proceed, Judge. I know we have discussed evidentiary issues.
Do we need to address those at this time, or are we ready to bring the jury and proceed with openings?
I would proceed with openings.
I tell you what, they need to stay mic'd up. I'm waiting because they're about to do opening statements, but I went too far last time. Let me see.
Good morning. My name is Drew Virtue. I introduced myself earlier when we had a larger group, but now that it's a smaller group, I just wanted to reintroduce myself again. To give you some room to stand on here of parties and what they're doing. My name is Drew Virtue. I'm the prosecutor, meaning I'm going to be presenting evidence supporting the defendant's guilt. Defense counsel will be representing their client. We'll have the clerk here, whose job it is to create a complete record of this case, both for the recording as well as writing things down when need be. The court officers who are up and about are here to make sure that we're safe, as well as help people kind of figure out where they need to go. The judge's job is to, kind of clunky term from law school, be the master of the law. And that leaves you guys, which equally clunky term for the jury is the master of the facts. It's the idea that it's your job, it's your exclusive job, your special job to determine the facts at stake that we're talking about, what actually happened. And this is concerning about what happened on December 2nd of 2025. Now you're going to have an opportunity to hear from some witnesses. You're going to have an opportunity to hear from Ms. Mila Adams. She'll tell you about her career as a private chef. She'll tell you how she came to know the defendant, about how she came to be working as a chef for him. She'll tell you about her experience working for Mr. Diggs. I expect she'll tell you about a disagreement she had with some members of his staff. And then I expect that she'll tell you about what happened on December 2nd. And I remind you, it's your job here today to determine what happened on December 2nd. I expect Ms. Mila Adams, when she takes that stand, she'll tell you how she was texting with the defendant, her boss, Mr. Diggs. That on that text, they started arguing, they started name calling. I expect she'll tell you how she was in her bedroom at his house, how he entered her bedroom, walked up to her, and slapped her. I expect she's going to tell you how he put her in a headlock, the difficulty she had breathing, that he threw her on the bed, and then he left. I expect she's going to tell you then how that affected her, what she did after her, how she continued working for him afterwards, how she had a dispute with him over a payment, how his staff told her that she needed to sign a non-disclosure agreement to get paid. I expect she'll tell you that it wasn't until after this incident in December 2nd that anyone talked to her about a non-disclosure agreement. I expect for her to tell you how she eventually left that job as a chef, Mr. Diggs, and how she eventually reported what happened to her to the police. You also have an opportunity to hear from an officer from the Dedham Police, one Kenneth Ellis. He'll tell you about his training that he undertook in order to become an officer, and how on December the 16th, Ms. Mila Adams came to the Dedham Police Station to talk to the police. He'll be able to tell you a bit about that encounter, what he saw, a little bit about that conversation, and ultimately how he chose to, how charges were filed against Mr. Diggs. Now, in this case, Mr. Diggs has no obligation to call any witnesses. He may choose not to call any witnesses, and you cannot hold that against him. But in the event that he does call witnesses, I ask that you give his witnesses the same care, the same attention, and the same scrutiny that you give to the Commonwealth's witnesses. It's part of your job as jurors, as the master of the facts, to listen to every witness, to pay attention, and to assess their credibility. In doing so, I ask that you keep two things in mind. One, what the witness had an opportunity to see or not to see. Whether the witness had an actual opportunity to witness the crime or just saw things in and around it. And two, what sort of financial relationship each witness had to Mr. Diggs. I imagine the defense may argue that Ms. Adams' financial dispute with Mr. Diggs is an important part of this case, and I'd say it is an important part of this case. But just in the same way that her financial relationship to Mr. Diggs is important, so is all the witnesses' financial relationship to Mr. Diggs. Now, at the conclusion of evidence, I'll have an opportunity to come back to you again. During that time, closing arguments, I'll ask you to come to a decision based on the evidence you heard. But right now, what I'm asking you is to not come to any decisions. Right now, your main job is to listen. It's to pay attention, to give every bit of evidence the attention and the scrutiny it deserves. And when I say every bit of evidence, I do mean every bit of evidence, because in cases like this, every bit of evidence is important. Thank you.
Okay, his style of opening statement is different from the other trial watches I've seen. Maybe it's a good strategy. I mean, he did get found. He got found not guilty, so it was a good strategy, I guess. But his opening statement, was more of what everybody else is gonna say. They're they always tell the jury what their role is, but he focused on pay attention to all the evidence, which is good to say, but I just usually do hear more of them talking about their client personally. And I don't know, it's just some elements I haven't seen before. And I'm not saying his are good or bad. It's just the first time I've seen someone say, who's going to testify, give my client the same attention and deference you, or not his client, but the witnesses on their side, the same deference you give law enforcement and all that other stuff. And then that was it. But okay, keep going.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. The assault the Commonwealth just described in their opening statement in only a few sentences. It never happened. Did not happen. There was no strangulation. There was no...
Oh, hell, I thought the first one was the defense. He sounded like the... Sorry, that was the prosecution. Okay, my bad. So this is now the... Okay, my bad.
Assault. There was no incident on December 2nd or any other day. There were 6 people in Mr. Diggs's home on December 2nd, and not one heard or saw anything out of the ordinary. The Commonwealth has no physical evidence. There are no medical records. There are no photos or videos showing any injuries. There are videos showing no injuries at all. Pay attention to where those came from. On December 16th, as the Commonwealth just said, Ms. Adams went to the police, and you will learn that after that, on the very day the complaint issued in this case, December 29th, demands for money from Mr. Diggs began coming from Ms. Adams's agents.
I'm just going to pause and say this. This is what I expected when I thought the other dude was the defense attorney. This is how I usually see their style.
The end of December on the 29th with over $19,000, and then most recent being a sum for quite a bit more. My name, again, is Andrew Kettlewell, and with my partner, Ms. Silva, we represent Stefon Diggs, who I'm actually going to ask to stand up for a moment. Mr. Diggs is a 33-year-old professional football player and businessman. He played for the New England Patriots last year. He's from Maryland. He's joined here with his mother. Thank you. You're going to learn, ladies and gentlemen, that December 2nd, 2025 was a day like any other for Stefon Diggs. He was in a good mood. The Patriots had played the night before. They'd won. He played well. He was going to head into work on December 2nd, just like any other day after a game, for treatment, film review, team meetings. And that night, on December 2nd, 2025, he and his closest friends were scheduled to fly to Miami, Florida. That was for the 1 week off he had during the season, the 1 week of vacation. It's called the bye week. During that day, after he went to work, friends began arriving at his house, folks who were also joining him on the trip to Miami. There were other people in his house. One of those people who I expect you're going to hear from is his assistant, Janelle Salas. You'll hear people refer to her as Sunny. You're going to hear from Miss Salas that for the entire afternoon, she was in Mr. Diggs' home in Dedham on Schoolmaster Street, sitting in the kind of main area, living room, kitchen area, watching people come and go. And she was getting things ready for the trip that night. Miss Adams, you're going to hear, was also in that house. She lived and worked in that house as Mr. Diggs' chef for the regular season. And that was from July 2025 to December 2025. That morning, Miss Adams was not happy. Instead, she was quietly seething about being left off that trip to Miami. I mentioned they were going to Miami that night and that Mr. Diggs is a businessman. In Miami, you're going to hear that there was an art show where a furniture line he collaborated with a person on was being displayed. But also in Miami, you're going to hear that Mr. Diggs had a birthday party. He had just turned 33, and that there was a week's worth of fun. And Miss Adams initially was expected to be on the trip, but she had been left off. And she'd been left off because she'd spent the previous several days feuding with that business partner from the furniture line who was in Miami. And that person's name is Lindsay. I'm going to get back to that in one moment. Why was Miss Adams so frustrated that morning? Why was she so upset about Mr. Diggs taking this Lindsay's side in a feud over hers? It's because Miss Adams wasn't just a chef. She had known Mr. Diggs for years previous to ever working for him. They had been friends, and at times they'd been friends with benefits. That relationship had led to Miss Adams getting the job to cook for Mr. Diggs. She got to live in the house. She went to games. She sat with the owners of an NFL team, went to parties. She was paid $2,000 a week in reimbursement for what she claimed she spent on groceries. And she had plenty of opportunity to talk to Mr. Diggs about trying to get him to invest in her to open her dream restaurant. As that season wore on, her place in Mr. Diggs's circle began to slip, and things came to a head in late November when that issue that I just mentioned, the feud between her and this person named Lindsay, popped up. That feud, it's about an anonymous blog post that was posted on the internet. Lindsay said that Miss Adams posted it. Miss Adams said Lindsay was the problem. The blog, the drama, all of that, it's not important to this case. What is important is that by December 2nd, 2025, Miss Adams was furious. She was upset about being left off the trip. She was upset about Mr. Diggs taking Lindsay's side over her in that argument. And so while he was at work, she was at the house. And you will see the text messages, I expect, that she sent to him that morning. You'll see her frustration boiled over. A quick word about those text messages. I expect you're going to see most, if not all, of these messages. And there's some language in there that is not typically courtroom appropriate. There's cursing, there's slang. The one thing I ask of you is that you don't let the way that the messages, the two parties in the messages communicated with one another, interfere with your ability to understand the content and to understand their importance. Because you're going to see what that exchange was about. You're going to see it was about this dispute about Miss Adams being left off the Miami trip and about Mr. Diggs picking somebody else's side over her. And you're going to hear why that's important. Because as I said, Miss Adams went to the Dedham Police Department on December 16th, and she made her report. And she told them the argument on December 2nd was about money. She told them that's what the fight was about over text and in real life, and that's how things got out of hand. She didn't mention Miami. Listen to what else she didn't mention. And 2 days later, she sent the Dedham Police Department a screenshot of the text messages she said, and you just heard the Commonwealth say, led into that fight.
And I did see those text messages in the police report. I don't have the documents ready, but if you want to go legal at some point, if you didn't see the images, they're on Facebook too, everywhere. But I did read everything that I could read in the police report, and she did not mention about being left. But if you're mentioning an attack, you're not gonna mention all this other surrounding stuff. It's gonna be like, I was choked out. There's no reason I need to talk about a Miami trip right now. So I'm not holding that against her. It's the fact that I heard the highlights from a content creator I like, Keita Rose, that I know there's some tomfoolery about to happen, but I was falling asleep as I listened to it because her voice actually soothes me. So I only know some highlights. So I'm coming in pretty much blind, except I had a bias because I saw that police report first. So I'm waiting for to see what unfolds, but I may have opinions that change along the way. Thank you, academic, try hard.
Led over the phone to Mr. Diggs, coming into her room and committing this offense. And you're going to see those messages that she sent to the Dedham police. And I expect that what the evidence is going to show you after you've seen those, after you've seen all the messages that she did not show to the Dedham police, the evidence is going to show you that she curated the messages. She omitted some, she removed other messages before she sent them to the Dedham police to fit her narrative. By the way, on December 2nd, she indicated to the police as well that she had not been paid for November. You're going to hear a little bit about her payment and about her paperwork. And we'll get to that in one moment. A few of the people who you're going to hear from in this trial, many of them do work or have been associated with Mr. Diggs. Sonny, his assistant, is one of the witnesses you're going to hear from. I indicated to you she was inside the home that day, sitting in the living room, watching people come and go, doing her job like normal. She personally spoke to Miss Adams throughout that day, and she'll tell you what she observed. You're going to hear from other folks who talked or texted with Miss Adams that day as well. You're going to learn that Mr. Diggs had a scheduled day. He was at work in Foxborough, and even after he got back from work, he had a set schedule. He had an IV treatment for 1 hour and a 2-hour massage that followed. Following that, as I said, they were getting on the airplane and they were flying to Miami. As for Miss Adams, what you'll hear is that there was nothing out of the ordinary. She was normal. She cooked dinner for Mr. Diggs on December 2nd. She chatted on the phone and spent the afternoon and early evening in the house. And that night, she flew to New York City to spend her week off with friends. Now, I've said normal a few times already in this case. Let me pause and tell you what normal was like.
I'm sorry. I'm so traumatized. When he said week off, I went straight to Diddy and the freak offs. And I know it's not what I know, but I'm just saying I'm so traumatized. It just rhymes with it, and that's what I'm thinking about.
The Diggs house. Mr. Diggs is a highly regarded professional athlete. He owns a clothing line, a furniture line that I've already mentioned, and other businesses. And he's a public figure. He's a coterie of family, friends, and staff around him at all times. Good professional athletes are paid very well in this country, and Mr. Diggs is very good at his job. He has the means to support his friends, family, and staff, and he takes good care of his people. You're going to hear that on December 2nd, he was taking his entire entourage on an airplane down to Miami and putting them up for weeks worth of events and parties. And that wasn't even out of the ordinary. So normal in the Mr. Diggs house is a little bit different from normal in your house or mine. But just like any other person in this country, rich or poor, Mr. Diggs sits here an innocent man. And any preconceptions or feelings you have about athletes, wealth, or anything else, you have to put aside and not let interfere with the oath you just took as jurors. So we've talked about December 2nd because that's the day Miss Adams claimed this incident occurred. You're going to hear about other days as well. You'll hear a little bit, like I said, about that November blog incident because it led up to the text exchange on December 2nd. The text exchange, the Commonwealth just told you, led into this physical assault that Miss Adams claims occurred. You also heard a moment ago that she flew to New York City that night. And I expect that you're going to hear from the people she stayed with in New York City. Their names are Shai Charles and Natalia Moses. They're both hairstylists who live in New York City. And you're going to see videos from Miss Adams's trip to New York City. Videos recorded only hours after she had landed. Hours after this alleged incident had occurred. Videos from later that week, the next day, and a few days after that.
Okay, now I'm going to say this, but that's the highlight I woke up to when I was listening to Keita. I woke up to, they were like, is this you on the same night? And they was saying like she was partying. But I'm still going to put balance in here that some victims, and I don't know for sure if she was a victim, but some victims do still, like, they could get sexually assaulted, and it's, I don't know, I don't remember why, but they will then go out and party. Like, it doesn't make you not a victim because you partied the same night, but it does sway a jury a lot of times, though.
And when you hear about those videos, ask yourself, what am I seeing? Where did the information come from? And what can it tell me? Ask yourself whether what is depicted on those videos is consistent with the Commonwealth's theory that Miss Adams was brutally assaulted by a professional athlete in her bedroom on December 2nd. Ask yourself, what would you expect to see from what the Commonwealth just described in a person's demeanor and physically on their body? There's an old axiom that the simplest answer that accounts for all the facts, that is the true answer. See if the Commonwealth theory accounts for all of the evidence that you're going to get to see over the next day and a half. One other thing that you are going to hear, the Commonwealth mentioned it briefly for a moment there, was that Miss Adams returned to the house in Dedham. You're going to learn that happened on December 9th, 1 week after she went to New York City. One thing you will learn about that return is that on December 16th, she told the police that she was only going there to pack her things. The evidence will show you that that was not true. She actually went back to work just like nothing had happened. Pay very close attention to the details surrounding her return on December 9th. How she got there, what she was doing, what happened after she got back to the house in the middle of the night at about 11:30 p.m. and walked in unaccompanied. Listen for those details about what she did then and what happened after, and ask yourself whether it tends to corroborate the story the Commonwealth just told you, that she was violently assaulted and strangled on December 2nd, or whether it instead suggests that nothing happened on December 2nd. As I said, after Miss Adams got back to work on December 9th, she tried to pretend that things were fine. She tried to get back in Mr. Diggs's good graces, to get him to forget about the text exchange back on December 2nd. But the damage, the argument they had on December 2nd was done, and she couldn't get back into his good graces. And even worse, she was now coming back, even going to have to comply with the same rules that applied to everybody else. The Commonwealth already mentioned one of those. You're going to hear from Melissa Goddard, one of Mr. Diggs's bookkeepers who came up from Florida. She's going to tell you that she took over responsibility for Miss Adams's payment that fall, and that she found, because Miss Adams had had this previous relationship with Mr. Diggs, that she had never been onboarded as a normal contractor. She had never filled out any normal paperwork. And she told the assistant Sonny and Miss Adams that they needed to follow the normal procedures. Ms. Adams needed to sign proper paperwork, including signing an NDA just like anybody else. And she needed to submit actual receipts for reimbursements, just like everybody else. And you're going to see that Ms. Adams ignored those requests until she couldn't anymore. And that happened around December 13th. On December 13th, you're going to learn Ms. Adams got an email about that paperwork, and she got upset. She got mad again, and there was another barrage of angry text messages to Mr. Diggs. And this time, she wound up getting herself fired for good. I expect that you're going to end up seeing those messages as well. Messages the police weren't told about, because the police weren't told she went back to work after December 9th. This time, some of those messages actually were about money, but also still the same Lindsay blog post issue of Mr. Diggs picking someone over her. The end of this exchange on December 13th was more specific than December 2nd. Mr. Diggs sent $2,000 via Apple Pay that Ms. Adams claimed she owed, and told her she did not need to worry about cooking for him anymore. She was out. And this time she knew there was no getting back in. And listen to what happened when you hear the evidence after that.
And this is why you keep business separate from alleged pleasure, because I don't know yet if she talked about that they had a personal relationship, but it seems semi-professional at best. Also, for people that are employing people, keep a record of what you're paying them, because there's nothing to argue about when I can prove what I've paid you and paid you on time. I wonder, did he think he really did still owe her $2,000? I also want to know, for his other people that are assistants or some kind of personal something besides a chef, maybe a stylist, do they get paid on time? Because outside of the choking thing, I do want to know, like, how is he with paying people that personally work for him? But he needs to, with all that other stuff, paying for your friends to go to Miami, you need to get an accountant and whoever else needs to help you keep track of paying people, just so you can dead it. As soon as stuff like that comes up, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, that we're done. I have my paperwork right here.
After December 13th. 3 days later, as you've already heard, Miss Adams went to the police. She didn't tell them about December 13th or that she'd been fired. Instead, she told them a made-up story. She was furious, and she wanted Mr. Diggs to pay in every sense of that word. And what you will hear is that her demands for money, as I said, began on December 29th, the same day the criminal complaint issued in this case. You will also hear that as this case has gone on and public pressure has grown, that number has only gone up. And I will let her tell you what number she is now demanding from Mr. Diggs. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Diggs sits here an innocent man. That's the beauty of the American justice system. You heard a little bit about the way a trial works. You heard that the burden is entirely on the Commonwealth to prove its case. Their burden, proof beyond a reasonable doubt, it's the highest burden in our system. And as Mr. Virtue mentioned, Mr. Diggs has no burden whatsoever. One thing Mr. Virtue and I agree on, be skeptical with every witness. And financial incentives certainly do play a role in this case. We will call witnesses. We do so to give you the fullest possible picture of what happened and what did not happen on December 2nd, to give you the clearest picture of the truth. But that does not mean that we have to prove a single thing. The Commonwealth bears the burden, and the burden never shifts. That's how our system works. That's the beauty of it. That when an innocent person like Mr. Diggs is charged with a crime they didn't commit, what can they do? They can do this. They look the Commonwealth right in the eye and they say, prove it. And that's exactly what Mr. Diggs has done. That's why you are here, ladies and gentlemen. That's what a trial is. Mr. Diggs has chosen to place his fate in your hands. You, ladies and gentlemen, are the most important part of our system. I thank you, and Mr. Diggs thanks you for being here and for your service. You are the only people who can and who must hold the government to its burden. And the way you do that, it's not fancy. It's by using your common sense, your life experience, tools you use every day of your life to weigh credibility and to make decisions. And our system depends on that. You are the judges of credibility. And so I ask that you listen carefully, you should keep your full attention while you're here, and that you remember that the simplest answer that accounts for all the facts is the true answer. One of the worst things that a person can go through is to be charged with a crime that they didn't commit, especially in a situation like this one, where the charge hinges entirely on the word of a single person, and that person has millions of reasons to lie. So let's have a trial. And at the end of it, at the end of all the evidence, after you have heard it, I'm going to have the opportunity to come back and discuss the evidence as well. And at that time, I'm going to ask you to deliver what I expect will be the only true and just verdict in this case. And I can tell you right now that that will be to find Stefon Diggs not guilty. Thank you.
Okay, I can't wait for witnesses. I can't wait. That is what I expected from a defense attorney's opening statement. That follows the pattern I've seen. Makes more sense. And I did think, I was like, I thought prosecution went first, but the way the guy was talking at first, he didn't for sure hit me that he was prosecution, but I know there's always an order. Prosecution, I think, always goes first, but he threw me off. Okay, so let's see what we have next. Y'all are cracking me up. Ashley J said she got left off of Bad and Bougie, and I haven't recovered since. Oh, we're getting right into it. Is this her coming up right now?
Charlie, come up and call Mila Adams. Thank you very much.
If you remain standing, you're going to face the clerk and raise your right hand.
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes,
Stand okay.
May I inquire?
you may.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Wait, before she starts being asked questions, because I know not everyone believes that he didn't do it, that he was just found not guilty. That doesn't mean that everybody believes he didn't do anything. But if you see me laughing, I'm not laughing at the time she may be talking about the violent part. I'm probably laughing at the chat because they be telling personal stories in the chat, and then or Ashley making these comments. It's stuff like that. It is not me laughing at her unless I've heard there's some things though I might, but not during her describing the actual violence. I don't. So if you see me smiling, then I'm looking at the chat. I'm not laughing at anything she said happened.
Could you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Jamila, Jamila, Adams, Adams.
And do you normally go by Jamila or?
I go by Mila.
Mila, okay. And what do you do for a living?
I am a professional chef. I have been working in the industry for 13 years.
So you're a professional chef. Do you work in kitchens and?
I work privately for athletes, prominent figures, and wealthy families.
So you're a private. Is there a difference between a private chef and personal chef? Are those the same things, or?
It's pretty much the same thing.
And how long did you say you've been a private chef?
13 years.
13 years. And what sort of training did you take to become a chef?
I went to school for clinical psychology, so I have a degree in psychology. But I followed my passion in cooking because I grew up in the South and we cook. So I did some training in France and also Italy.
And kind of very generally, what does a private chef do?
We provide daily meals for our clients. So that would be breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. It's typically a live-in situation. So readily available to them, kind of like 24 hours a day. So I would say it's based on clients' needs. So
And
each client would, whatever your health goals were or health issues were, I will help you get better.
so you mentioned a little bit about what kind of clientele have you worked for?
Athletes, entertainers.
And without naming names, what kind of athletes or entertainers do you mean?
Singers, football players, basketball players, baseball players.
And are these professionals?
Very professional.
How much do you make in that job?
It ranges, depending on the needs they need from me. If it's a full-time live-in, it can range from anywhere $5,300 a week to $10,000.
Turning your attention now to a Mr. Stefon Diggs. Do you know Mr. Stefon Diggs?
Yes,
And how do you know him?
I've known Stefon Diggs for over 4.5 years.
And how'd you meet him?
We met in December 22 through an Instagram message. He first wanted me to cook for him.
And
Well, I would think that's what the first message is. You're a chef. I would imagine her account is about being a chef. I don't know why they took so long to say the first message was he wanted her to cook for him. The pause was weird.
do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes.
And could you identify him through? I see you're pointing at someone, but could you describe him just because we have to have everything on the record? You describe him either clothing he's wearing or hairstyle, anything like that?
A blue shirt and blue tie and blue suit.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that this witness has identified the defendant as Mr. Stefon Diggs?
It will reflect the identification of the defendant.
Thank you. Over those 4 or so years, how would you characterize your relationship with Mr. Diggs?
I would say it's complicated. We had it started out as friends. It started out as friends, became sexual, and we would meet up, hang out, and we decided I would come work for him like February of 2025.
You said February 2025, you and he talked about you working for him,
Yes,
and that's as a private chef?
yes.
What were the sort of terms of your employment? Like were you going to be living with him?
Yes.
And how many meals or what was it like working for him?
Can you say that again?
Yeah, yes.
Ooh, she thinking that was a short question. He said, how was it working for him? That was not a long question. I will say it is normal for a real private chef a full-time private chef to live in the home. This is not the same thing, but I just want to say I used to be a missile field chef, and I had to be ready for the early crew, the midday crew, the night crew. So I was cooking like sometimes a full meal at 11 p.m. and I was dying because I'm not a late person. But I do believe that that's normal for her to have lived with him as far as performing her chef duties.
So as far as your employment goes, what were your duties working as a Mr. Diggs private chef?
My duties were to make all his meals, his snacks, and basically get him healthy. That was the start of our initially hiring me. He was coming back. It was his comeback year. And I wanted to help him get healthy, to eat better too.
So how does it, do you create a menu? Does he just tell you what he wants? Do you?
I'm skilled with recovery. So I knew what it would take to get him, help him get healthy and stay healthy, to help him change his diet. So it was more so like diet change would be the focus and just overall health.
And did you would you cook just for him or for other people as well?
Yes, I will cook for whoever was in the house.
And I know you mentioned earlier your breakfast. Is that the sort of standard? Was it every day breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then?
Yes, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks.
And how much did you get paid for this?
We agreed on $2,000 a week.
And how did you get paid?
Finance office would pay me.
So you said that you while this was staying in his house, right?
Yes.
Where was this house?
7 Schoolmasters Lane.
In what town?
Dedham.
And could you describe this house? What was it? It was a single family home?
What do you mean by that?
What was it? Was it an apartment? Was it?
Oh, it was a single family home's house.
And how many floors was it?
Basement, middle floor, a landing, and then top floor. So 3 floors.
And so where was the kitchen?
The kitchen was downstairs on the floor you come into the house on. So the first floor, I would call it.
And that's where you did your chefing, cooking, baking? I don't know.
Yes, where I did my cooking.
Yes.
Yes.
And where did you stay in that house?
I stayed on the top floor.
And where was it in the house?
It was up the landing all the way to the back. And
I'm sorry, this is not even important. But when she says top floor, are there 2 floors, 3 floors? How many floors in the house? What is the top floor? Like, I need to know those things. I don't know why, but my brain's going to think about it unless somebody clarifies.
it's over the kitchen.
And was this a single bedroom that you had? Was it a suite? What was it?
A single bedroom with a full bathroom.
With a full bathroom. Was the bathroom off of the bedroom?
It's the bedroom, and then you walk back into the bathroom.
So
It was in my room.
Okay, so the entrance to the bathroom wasn't in the hallway; it was in the bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. And where was Mr. Diggs? Where was his bedroom?
Up the first landing.
Okay, so you said that there was the floor you come in on, a landing, and then
Mr. Diggs' room.
Mr. Diggs was on the landing?
Yes.
Okay. How long were you there in that house?
From July 2025, July 20th, 21st. I can't remember the exact date right now. To December the 15th.
Hold on. So she worked for him for a total of 4 years, I thought they said earlier, but she only lived in the house the last 4 months from July to December when she did her police report. Because I know she said she worked with him for like 4 years, I thought.
And during that time, who was at the house with you?
Mr. Diggs, his friends.
Did he have other staff that lived there, or was it just?
No, I was just living there. He had friends that basically lived there.
Okay. And while you were living there, was it a kind of regular schedule or thing? How did that work?
Yes, he gets a different schedule by the week, but it would change by the day sometimes. Sometimes he would have to go in later or earlier. So I will often ask at night what time you have to be at work, so I can have breakfast prepared for him to take to work.
Turning your attention now to November. Around November, did any sort of friction occur between members of his staff?
Yes.
And what was that?
I wouldn't. Friction. Say that again. Friction to his friction.
Was there any sort of maybe I should say this. What, if anything, happened near the end of November?
Yes.
Oh God. Oh my God. I feel like, is she concentrating so much on what she's going to answer that she's not concentrating on the question? Because was there friction between the staff is a simple question. That's not too crazy. And you know, the defense told all the business about her having a disagreement with the other lady, that she's mad because Stefon took her side versus the chef's side, which I don't know to be true, but she knows somewhere, some way there was friction, because you're accusing people of doing blog posts, you being accused of doing a blog post. You know what friction is.
A Instagram DM message was sent to his child's mother's friend, and this message was stating that I was telling his personal business.
Which child's mother? How many children's mothers does he have?
Of women that he was sleeping with that worked with us, that worked with me, and yeah.
And so,
as far as I can remember, what that message said.
And
so,
how did this create friction within the people working for Mr. Diggs?
I was confronted by Mr. Diggs if I said these things, but it had already been Mr. Diggs had a ongoing sexual relationship with Lindsay Bolin, and this person, she didn't like me, that fact that I was in the house.
So you mentioned Lindsay Bolin. Who's that person?
Lindsay Bolin, it works for Mr. Diggs.
And how? What does she do?
I can't quite answer that. I just know he provides housing, pays her rent. I don't know. Yeah, she works for him. I don't know.
And so, did you and Lindsay get into any sort of argument? You mean, or?
We didn't get in. We got in an argument after Mr. Diggs confronted me. She sent me a message first, per his instruction, and called me a name, excuse my language, you guys, a bitch. And she just went on and on and on in this message about me.
Objection, Your Honor. May we be heard at sidebar?
Yes. Okay, while they do their sidebar, let me see if I have to mute. I might not have to mute because they just, okay. Okay, so she had an argument with the girl. She said Stefon told the girl to contact her. The girl's calling her names. Let me put this on pause. I don't know what that beeping is. I will tell you this: for her to already have a history of working with entertainers, celebrities, athletes, I'm quitting. I'm quitting because now you're making my life messy. Let's just say she has no fault in this. I'm quitting. I have too many options. And if she says she makes a range from $5,300 a month to $10,000 a month, I'm gonna go find my $10,000 client and I'm out, because this is messy now. This is where I feel like there's personal feelings involved. Omar said probably Cardi. I was like, yeah, which baby? Yeah, probably Cardi. So I wouldn't stay if I had that many options, unless I had some personal feelings involved as well. Because working, if she said they were friends for 4 years, that's what y'all said, because I can't remember what they said about 4 years, and she only worked with him for 5 to 6 months. Nah, I gotta go. We can stay friends. I'm gonna go work for somebody else. I'm skipping ahead. They turned their camera off. This is gonna be a short day. All of this waiting. It was only a 2-day trial. Oh, it was $5,300 to $10,000 a week. That's even more motivation to go. I wouldn't stay.
Court, all rise, jurors entry.
All right, Ms. Adams, before we proceed, I'm going to ask you to do your best as you testify to keep your voice up, please. All right, we need to make sure that the person in the last row of the courtroom can hear you even. All right?
Yes.
Thank you. Commonwealth, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Adams, can I now turn your attention towards the date of December 2nd?
Yes.
Were you still employed by Mr. Diggs at this time?
Yes.
And where were you on December 2nd?
I was in the house, 7 Schoolmasters Lane.
Gotcha. And that day, what were you doing that day?
I woke up in the morning, prepared breakfast. Mr. Diggs came downstairs. He asked me what was I doing for the week. And I asked him, oh, so you weren't going to tell me that I wasn't able to come to Art Basel? And he explained why. And it was because of the situation with me and the other coworker, Lindsay Bolin. And I was upset with him, not upset at the fact I couldn't go to Art Basel. Me and him have a relationship for over 4.5 years. He could have told me weeks ahead of time, because me and his girlfriend, Cardi B, we were talking about having like outfits and stuff. It was like a whole thing being planned, and he just waited till the last day. So I was more upset with him not letting me know I wasn't gonna come.
That's personal, because I guarantee you if it was pure. I'm on mute. I know. I'm sorry, y'all. I was going to say, what was I saying? Oh, my God. That doesn't sound strictly professional in her chef environment, because if you are employed as the private chef, that is your role. If you then get dropped from a trip, sit back, collect your check. But if it's personal stuff involved, I see why your feelings are hurt on stuff like that. And it gets messy when you're personal. Really, really messy.
Like at an earlier time.
And at some point during this day, were you alone in your bedroom?
Yes.
And do you know around when this was?
It was in the, like around 3 afternoon, 3-ish up. Or is it?
When you're in your bedroom by yourself, what, if anything, were you doing?
I was sitting on the bed, laying across the bed. I had my laptop, reading a cookbook, actually.
And were you communicating with any people at this point?
I received a text from Anna, was one of his friends.
Did you receive any text or send any text to Mr. Diggs?
No, the morning text. That was in the morning. We had went back and forth in morning
But you had
text.
some previous texts in the morning.
Yes.
Let's go. You're in the bedroom. What happens next?
I was in the bedroom. Mr. Diggs came into my room. I was laying across the bed. He came into my room.
When you were in the bedroom, was the door closed?
Yes, the door was closed.
So when he came in, did he open the door?
Yes, he opened the door.
Did he leave it open after him?
No, he closed the door behind him.
And you said you were on the bed.
Yes, I was laying across the bed.
About how far away were you from the door?
About 4 or 5 feet, something like that.
So he comes in, closes the door behind him. What happens next?
He asked me to come here. He walked across the room and like leaned back on the dresser.
Okay, and just to give a kind of a sense, where's the dresser in the room in relation to like the door and?
Across the room, alongside the bathroom door.
Okay, so about how far away from the front door is the dresser?
I don't know, or 8 feet. I don't know them. A nice amount of feet.
Okay, so some amount of distance from it. You said he leans against the dresser?
Yes,
Are you still on the bed at this point?
I'm still in bed at this point.
What happens?
He comes in. He looks very angry. He was upset from the text exchange we were having. And in that text exchange, he was calling me bitches, and he was just very upset.
But what happened in that room?
He came in and he with intent to hurt me.
No. What? Not his intent or anything. What actually happened?
He was leaning against the dresser. He asked me to get up to come here. I got up off the bed and I came across to him and I stood in front of him. Like I stood on the side of him because he was leaning back. I stood on the side of him and he was like, "What was all that shit you was talking?"
And then what happened?
And I was beginning to say, "You said," and I couldn't finish my statement and he smacked me.
So when you say he smacked
He
you,
smacked me with an open hand.
do you know which hand he used?
Right hand, right side of my
Do you
face.
know which part of your face got hit?
The right side of my face.
And I know you're putting your hand against your cheek. Is it your cheek that got
It was
struck?
my cheek that got hit.
About how far away from you were you from him when that happened?
I was at the end of the dresser.
And where was he?
He was on the, like in front of me on the other side of the dresser.
So about how much space was in between you?
Maybe 3 feet, 4 feet.
So you said that he I want to use the word. Did you say smack or slap? I don't know what the word was.
Smack.
So he smacked you,
Yeah,
and then what
smack.
happened?
I went to try to like block him, like push him like this, to like stop.
So again, I see you're pushing your hands out.
I pushed up. He's way taller than me. I pushed up for him
How
to
tall are you?
4'11", 5 feet.
And how tall is he? Do you know?
6 feet, 6'1".
So you said you pushed out and you made a motion with your hands. So does that mean you pushed with your hands
Yes,
around what, like his stomach, his chest, his shoulders?
up to block his hands.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then he Can I have a second? Can I have a second?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you take a minute.
All right. When I went up to push his hand, like block him, like block him, he took his arm and he like came around my neck with the crook of his elbow around my neck, and he began to choke me, pressure on my neck with his elbow.
So you said you pushed against him, and then he put his arm around your neck.
Yes,
Do you know? Were you facing away from him?
I was facing him.
You were facing him. He put his arm around your neck.
Yes, he like spun me around.
He spun you around.
Like I will have to show you more so than I can describe it.
Describe it as best you can.
Okay, I do want to say this as someone that I'm like you, Bam Bam, and I'm sure her complexion, she bruises. You'll see the bruising and stuff like that. He used his arm and not his hands, so that could explain lack of bruising, especially depending on what maybe I don't know. I feel like you may not bruise, but your air circulation can still be briefly cut off from this, and you're not going to have a bruise. Usually the bruises come from the hands around the neck. So I was waiting to see how she was going to describe how did her airway get cut off. I'm over here because I just want to talk about both sides. Also, I got to practice for my argumentative essay anyway, so this is great practice. But yeah, like she might not have a bruise if he did do that with his arm, not his hand.
I was standing in front of him. When he slapped me, I went to like try to hit him back like this. And then it was like he tackled me, like got me to try to keep from pushing him or protecting myself. And he put his arm around my neck like this, and he's choking me.
So you ended up in a position where his like forearm or bicep was around your neck.
Yes.
And you said he choked you. What exactly, did he put pressure on your neck?
Yes, he put pressure on it.
And were you able to breathe?
At first, and it kept getting tighter and tighter.
So were you able to breathe?
No.
About how long were you in this position?
I would say roughly I can't recall the amount of time. I just know it went from the edge where we were in front of the dresser to the side of the bed to him falling on top of me on the bed.
So about how far of a distance is that?
About maybe 4 or 5 feet, something like that, 5, 6 feet.
At some point, did he let you go?
Yeah, he let me go. When we got to the side of the bed, I was pushing back. I started to do a move that I saw off of social media. He said to me, that shit is not going to work.
So when you say you saw him, you tried to do
It
a
was
move.
a defensive move where you try to put your hands underneath the person that's trying to choke you. It's like something I saw on a woman defensive page or something. And he said that shit you see on Instagram is not going to work. And that's when he got tighter. Like the more I was trying to put his hand, he got tighter.
And then what happened?
And then I was pushing back. And then he like fell down on top of me on the bed because I was on the side of the bed. And it was like, he was like letting me, like, I guess he was about to let me go. But as he was getting up, he like pulled my hair. And he was like, yeah, I thought so.
And then what happened?
He got up off of me, off the bed behind me, and he walked around the bed. I told him I still haven't got paid. He said lies. And he was like, so what are you doing? So what are you doing for the week? And I was like, I'm staying here. He said, I don't want anyone in my house. I don't want.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm actually torn, and I can see why he was found not guilty. It's that beyond a reasonable doubt part. But, well, and also I know that some other witnesses are coming as well. I mean, she's going to be her own worst witness too, I think, once prosecution gets up there. But I don't know. It sounded like he did do that, and she also wanted to stay. That's where I'm at right now. Opinions can change. But it sounds like he did what he did, said what he said to her, and then still had to kick her out the house because she was going to try to stay while he was gone or whatever. All of it could have happened.
Anyone here? I was like, okay, so who's going to get my ticket? He said, who always gets your ticket? And that's it. He walked out of the room.
So from the moment he entered the room to the moment he left, about how much time went by?
My last text to Anna was probably like 3:30 something. I text Sunny at 4:11. So it was between that time because I didn't have plans. I didn't have money to go anywhere to travel. I know,
but just the question was about how long time.
It was just in between that time. I can't say exact, but I know it's before 4:11.
So
this is a good point based on these body cams we see. Hold on. Ace Moonshot said, but it could be she was hitting him and he smothered the slaps by grabbing her and threw her on the bed. That is true as well, because if you don't get caught on camera via somebody recording you when you're doing some crazy stuff, the one that could most likely look like the victim, they'll get real docile, but they was cutting up, hidden, and everything. So yes, that's what I'm saying. A smooth shot, that could be true too, because I'm not sure. But all the defense has to do is plant doubt, because only a guilty verdict can be given if you are beyond a reasonable doubt. So they just got to keep planting doubt in the defense part. And I know some stuff is still coming too that I haven't seen.
10 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes?
He was in the room probably maybe 10 minutes, 15. I don't know. I'm sure. I don't remember.
When he left the room, what happened next?
I looked down at my pants. I had peed my pants, and I had just came off my cycle, and I was bleeding really bad again. I guess because I was so scared, I changed my pants and I cleaned up myself, and I came back in the room, and that's when I text Sonny to get my flight.
And where was that flight to?
Atlanta.
At some point, did you exit your? When you said you went to your bathroom, was that the bathroom that's connected to the bedroom, right?
Yes.
At some point, did you leave out your bedroom again?
I didn't leave out my bedroom till later in the afternoon.
But so at some point later on, you did. Do you know about how long you stayed there?
In my bedroom? A while, because I was trying to figure out what I was going to do.
So at some point though, that later on that day, you exited out of the bedroom.
Yes.
And what did you do next?
When I exited out of the bedroom, while I was in my bedroom, I was packing my clothes to leave.
Okay.
I called another coworker, I would call her, and I just asked her, like, you know, what she was doing, and she was like, I told her I wasn't able to go to Art Basel, and that I was going home, and she was like, oh, you should come here, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll come there.
When she said here, what does that mean?
New York City. So I then proceeded to change my flight to go to New York.
Okay. And when was that flight going to be?
I just know I landed at 10:49. It was a later flight in the afternoon.
But it's that day?
It's that day, yes.
Did you see Mr. Diggs anytime after that happened that day?
Yes.
And what was that like?
He was getting a massage, and I was leaving out. By the time I saw him, I was handing over birthday gifts that I had got.
So when you said you're handing out birthday gifts, who were you handing out birthday gifts
to him?
This is a gift that you had already purchased, or?
Yes, I normally give him a birthday gift every year.
When's his birthday?
November 28th.
Okay, so this was a little bit afterwards?
Yeah.
So at some point, did you leave this house?
Yes.
How did you leave to get to the airport?
A car, an Uber.
Right, and so an Uber came and picked you up and brought you to the airport?
Yes.
You went to New York. Was it New York City or New York State?
New York City.
Also New York State, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And who did you meet up in New York City?
I met up with Shy Charles, and she picked me up from the airport, and we went to pick up her friend Natalia, and then we went to her ex-husband's house to pick up something or to do something she had to do. We were there. We ordered wings and watched a movie, watched some video.
I wonder why she's reluctant to admit I feel like there was a personal relationship that definitely happened with them. Is it because Cardi was cool with her and she don't want to put it out there that, hey, I actually was with your dude? Or is it about, since it's come out, it's going to be harder, it's probably still going to be harder to find employment? I don't know. But I do feel like the part that's missing is she's not acknowledging they had a personal relationship. That seems like it's so obvious, but it's just not being said.
And did you tell anyone here about what had happened to you?
No, I didn't tell anyone there because they have their own interpersonal sexual relationship. So I wouldn't have never told her anything like that.
How long did you stay in New York?
I stayed in New York Tuesday to Tuesday, so 7 days the week.
And did you come back to Massachusetts?
Yes.
And did you come back to working for Mr. Diggs?
Yes.
At some point, and I know this was a little bit before, maybe a little bit afterwards, but at some point, were you talking to Mr. Diggs about money you felt he owed you?
It was past wages.
Okay.
Yes.
When did you first start? When did you first bring that up with him?
During the week of Art Basel. I want to say like maybe the 5th or 6th.
Of December?
Yes.
Okay. And so you felt that he owed you some money from wages that weren't paid. Is that what you're saying?
I wasn't paid for the time of the month. Like I had been paid for the weeks that I put in at that time.
Okay.
I guess again, because of the personal friendships and stuff, and possibly more than friendship, we don't send emails. Like first week's missing. I normally get paid each week. We passed that Friday or whatever day. Hey, Mr. Diggs, I am noticing I have not received payment during our normal regular date. Please let me know if there was just an error, or could you, and I look forward to hearing your reply, whatever. I'm putting it in writing as soon as I'm missing my first week, if I'm getting paid weekly or whatever it is. We're not getting that behind. Like I need to start keeping a record, because she already is going to have the downside of looking like she just wants more money. That's just it comes with the territory. And so people are going to think you want more money. And I'm saying this for not just her. I'm just saying people that work for people that are rich. That's the first thing that it's going to be. So I would just start sending my email as soon as things became out of the ordinary. If you've been paying me on time the first 3.5 months, now we're getting into month 4, 4.5, and things are not regular. That's a formal message. I'm not texting you unless it's a text after I formally emailed you, maybe, but
And who did you talk to Mr. Diggs directly, or did you talk to his finance people? Who did you talk to about this?
It was a chain of command. Like I would talk to his assistant, but his assistant was under investigation for stealing watches and money. So I don't know if my things.
I gotta go back. I was replying. Hold on. I want to see what got struck.
And who did you talk to Mr. Diggs directly, or did you talk to his finance people? Who did you talk to about this?
It was a chain of command. Like I would talk to his assistant, but his assistant was under investigation for stealing watches and money. So I don't know if my things.
That portion of the answer will be stricken from the record, and the jurors will disregard it and will give it no consideration during your deliberations. Please answer the question asked. Commonwealth, next question.
Thank you, Your Honor. At some point, did someone from Mr. Diggs...
Wait, is that the same assistant she had the friction with that is also accused of now stealing watches and stuff? Because anytime they go to that particular woman, I think, what's her name, Lisa? I'm making up names. I don't know. But when they go to her, that energy spikes up and she is ready to talk.
Bring up a non-disclosure agreement?
Yes, Mr. Diggs likes to abuse people and try to hide his abuse.
That objection is sustained. That portion of the witness is...
Dang. Now Leia's grandma in the chat did tell me he has, it's either, now is it 3 separate cases or a case with 3 people? But she put 3 separate cases in there about some other physical altercations he's being accused of as well.
His answer will be stricken and the jurors will disregard it during your deliberations. You are to give it no consideration and do not even raise it. Next question.
At some point, were you given some information about a non-disclosure agreement by someone who worked for Mr. Diggs?
Yes,
And when was this?
a couple days after the assault.
At some point, did you stop working for Mr. Diggs?
At what?
At some point, did you stop working for Mr. Diggs?
I didn't stop working for Mr. Diggs until my last day in the house, I would say, was the 16th. So yeah, some point.
So December 16th, okay. At some point, did you report any of this to the Dedham police?
Yes,
And when was that?
the Tuesday.
Do you know the actual day or just that it was a Tuesday?
I left on the 15th. I left his house on the 15th. I reported on the 16th.
Okay, so, and so did you call the police? Did you go there in person? How did that happen?
I went there in person.
And what happened?
See, that sucks too, because even if someone's been doing you wrong forever, if you stay employed with them until they fire you, it's an uphill battle now, because it's like you didn't put up the red flags or the alert for these things before. So would you have been okay as long as you were kept employed? I'm not, and it sucks because sometimes people don't even realize how stuff has added up to be a hostile work environment and stuff like that. But that's not going to be good to the jurors. I'm just going to say that perception wise, that she filed a report, I guess the day after he fired her, not when it happened, not a couple days after it happened, but the day after he fired her is how I'm hearing it.
I was begging for my pay with Mr. Diggs, begging for days.
Objection, Your Honor.
And he refused to pay me.
Objection is sustained. That portion of
The judge ain't gonna like her. She literally hears the attorney saying objection and she keeps trying to finish her, not trying. She keeps finishing her sentences. Judges do not like that.
response will be stricken and the jurors are not to consider it in your deliberations. Answer the question asked. Please phrase the question again.
At some point, you arrived to the Dedham police station.
Yes.
Did you speak to an officer?
Yes, I did.
And did you tell the officer about what happened on December 2nd?
I was very hesitant at first because of his fame and power. So yes, but I
Objection,
did.
Your Honor. Move to strike.
The objection is sustained. That comment by the witness will be stricken from the record and the jurors are to disregard it and not consider it in your deliberations.
At some point, did you tell the officer about what happened on December 2nd?
Yes, I did.
And did at any point you provide to the Dedham police text messages?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach this witness?
Yes.
Approaching of what was previously marked as Exhibit 1, I'm placing something in front of you. If you could take a look at that, and when you're done looking at that, look back up at me.
Yes.
Do you recognize what that is?
Yes.
What is that?
It's a text message exchange between me and Mr. Diggs.
And is this the text message exchange that you provided to the Dedham police?
Yes. I deleted messages because making the report to the police in my previous abusive relationship,
Objection,
me,
Your Honor.
Ma'am, stop.
I'm telling you what,
Stop.
I told y'all that judge's patience is gone. You have to. They didn't prep her at all. I'm agreeing with you now. She wasn't prepped because they had to have told her you got to be a sympathetic victim, unfortunately. but there's humans in that jury box. They have to feel for you and also look at the facts, but they at least gotta, but it's not helping you to do this. And they didn't prep her well. Like, if you hear objection, you stop talking till they finish and see if they overrule the objection, you can talk again. It's not helping her. Okay.
That part of the answer is stricken from the record and the jurors will disregard it. Ma'am, please answer the question that is put to you.
Okay.
And if you don't understand it, you can have it restated for you. Counsel at sidebar, please.
It looks like it's so short in between the time. I'm trying not to go too far.
Exhibit
Okay.
2. Do you recognize what this is? You can look through it. There's a one page as well.
I recognize it, but the messages is cut off.
There's a I believe 3 pages to this. If you want to throw 4 pages, rather, if you want to flip through.
I do want to know what she was going to say, though, that she deleted the text messages because of her previous abusive relationship. What? Why'd you delete the text? I'm just curious, not challenging. I just want to know.
Yes.
Do you recognize this? What these is?
Yes.
And what is this?
This was in a text exchange
Between whom?
between me and Mr. Diggs.
And when was this text exchange from?
The morning into the noon, 12/2.
Of December 2nd?
Yes.
Is there a difference between the text messages that you provided to the Dedham police and the text messages that are here?
Yes.
And what is that difference?
I deleted bet and pussy, and I'm ruining that bitch life. Not mistaken. Yeah.
And why did you delete those phrases when you provided those text messages to the Dedham police?
Because
Before she says, is she the one that said, I'm going to ruin that bee's life? Because I don't think she would have deleted it if he was the one that said that. Did she say that?
when I was abused in my previous relationship, when I would say things,
The objection is sustained.
he would.
The objection is sustained. There's no question there. Again, the jurors will disregard it. Sidebar.
She getting prosecution in trouble. Oh my gosh. They didn't even say keep us out of trouble. They didn't even prep her. Like, don't get us in trouble. We're your best shot. Wow. Yep. Uh-huh. I knew she had reported a little bit. Well, she reported it when she got fired, right?
Why did you delete text messages when you provided them to the Dedham police?
The fear of how I'll be perceived.
Your Honor, may I approach also?
Yes.
Approaching now if I may direct your attention to what is marked.
And what sucks is it's still happening. Her fear did come true because, one, just because you delete your side doesn't mean it's deleted from everybody. so it was still gonna come out. And it looks worse that you were the one that hid it. Then they were already gonna get her for the not filing the police report until she was fired. What's the other perception? I think most people think she had a personal relationship that she's not talking about. I think she has strong energy for that one girl because that one girl was sleeping with Stefon Diggs, according to her, and I think she was at one point too, because it has that animosity of we're fighting over a man type thing. And she wants to just get the sympathy, but not the accountability for the other parts too, just so they can all be taken into account. That's what it feels like.
This exhibit 3. Do you mind looking through this? It's a number of pages. And when you kind of have looked at it a little bit, you can look back up at me.
I'm reading all of them or just that first page?
Have you read a few of those? Well, let me say, from what you've seen, do you recognize what these seem to be?
Yes.
What are these?
Text messages about the...
Do you know who the text messages are between?
Yes, between me and Mr. Diggs.
And do you know when these text messages are from?
12/2-ish. Yeah, 12/2.
So were those text messages that were going on between you and Pete that morning of that day?
Yes.
And if I can ask you to maybe go to the third last page on this.
In this whole thing?
Of this section. So if I'm, Your Honor, may I approach and
Yes.
that says pussy, right?
Yes,
Who sent that?
I did.
And how did Mr. Diggs respond?
Show me I'm pussy.
And how did you respond?
Will do.
And were those the last text messages sent before Mr. Diggs hit you?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken.
Your Honor, may I approach once more?
Yes.
Bringing your attention now to what was marked Exhibit 4. Could you look through a few of these? And do you recognize what these are?
Yes,
And what are these?
these are messages that I sent him asking to be paid.
And do you know when around these were from?
It was a couple of days after. They were in Art Basel. 12/5 it says. Yeah, I know I was begging for my money for a while.
Just, I think, handful final questions. When he was in the room, when he slapped you, when he put you in a headlock, was there anyone else in the room but you two?
Just us two.
And were there other people in the house?
Yes,
Do you know where they were in the house?
downstairs. I'm not mistaken.
And you said you went to New York and you met with a Shy. Is it Shy?
Yeah,
How did you know Shy Charles?
she works for him.
Okay, so
She braids his hair.
and so has she known you longer or him longer?
Him longer.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Oh Oh no, he needed more questions. That's not good. This is not good. But I know we already know the outcome, but I'm seeing how we're getting to the outcome. Again, I'm gonna say this because we already know what happened. But the lady that said she was downstairs, I think she's gonna be the defense's witness, that he possibly also had a sexual relationship with. She is just as likely that she would lie for him as she's just telling the truth about what she witnessed. I'm just pointing it out because, but again, beyond reasonable doubt.
Ms. Adams, today is not the first day you've told the story of what you say happened on December 2nd, true?
True.
The first time you told the story was on December 16th, right?
Yes.
And that was to Officer Ellis of the Dedham Police Department, right?
Yes.
And you sat with Officer Ellis, right?
Yes.
And you told him your story,
Yes.
and he took notes of what you were saying,
Yes.
because what you were saying was important to issuing a criminal complaint, right?
Objection.
Oh, defense already getting live, ain't they? I'm like, oh, she's that the prosecution had kid gloves because she's their witness. I don't think they asked the greatest questions. I don't think she had the greatest answers, but defense is not playing.
Overruled.
I don't know what a criminal complaint is. I was
Well-
making a report. I don't know.
You were making a report to the police
Yes.
about what you said was a violent assault, correct?
Yes.
And your purpose in making a report to the police about a violent assault was to start a criminal case.
No. I made a criminal report to have a report to document it.
Oh my God. She's being obtuse. When she says, I don't know what a criminal complaint is, and she's already let it be known she's been in an abusive relationship before. Most lay people know what a criminal complaint is, that it's going to be basically the same thing as a report. You don't know where it's going to go after you make a report, but you can't do this. If you're going to say, I don't know what a criminal complaint is, then she just tripped herself up and said, I made a criminal report and all this other stuff. Complaint, report, ma'am, that's not where the hill you die on. This is how I feel like, among other things, the jury's not going to trust her word, because why are you picking this little bitty thing out to say, I don't know what a criminal complaint is? And you've had previous abusive relationships, according to you too. Mm-mm.
So documentation was important to you, right?
Yes.
The story that you just told to this jury under oath was very different from what you told to Officer Ellis. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
What you said to Officer Ellis when you reported this crime, this so-called crime, is that you had been having an ongoing text exchange over money owed to you.
Yes.
You told the police officer who filed the criminal complaint in this case, based on your word, that your fight with Mr. Diggs on December 2nd was over money. True?
Yes.
Except you just testified under oath to this jury that you didn't start talking about money until December 5th, right?
What did you say?
You just testified under oath to this jury.
I have been begging for my money since December the 5th.
That's what the defense attorney just said. That's what she just said. Correct my dates if I'm wrong. She got attacked on December 2nd. The defense attorney is making the point that she didn't ask about her money until December 5th. She gets defensive and then says the same thing that the defense attorney just said, same date. The defense attorney, I think she's being aggy on purpose, and it's working. It's making her defensive. She's forgetting what she's already said. And then she's forgetting, I guess, the question, because you just repeated the same answer that made the defense attorney true on what she was saying back to you. Oh, okay.
Diggs, and throughout those messages, you can see that I was begging for my money since that day.
Which message? Are you talking about Exhibit 3 that you just looked at?
It's other messages that you guys should have of me begging for my money from Mr. Diggs.
Ms. Adams,
Yes.
do you recall testifying under oath to this jury that your fight on December 2nd was about Lindsay, your anger at Lindsay, and you being told you couldn't go on the Miami trip?
My anger was at Stefon. I never said my anger was at Lindsay.
But was your anger about the trip and not being paid? That's what I think they want to know.
You were angry at Stefon on December 2nd
Yes.
because you were told you couldn't go on
I was
Miami.
angry at Stefon because we were friends. And he told me at the last minute I could not go to Art Basel.
I'm gonna tell you what, worst thing you can do is interrupt an attorney while they're asking a question, because most times you're gonna end up giving them an answer they may not have gotten had you waited for the full question to be asked. It's never to your advantage to interrupt an attorney asking you questions they planned on to make your point. It does not work.
Yet when you walked into the police station on December 16th, you said you had been having an ongoing text exchange over money owed to you.
Yes, money owed to me after I asked Mr. Diggs on December the 2nd, when can I get paid?
Your Honor, may I approach?
Your Honor, we've seen it at sidebar.
Dang, somebody, my God, no, there's been a lot of sidebars in this short trial. Hold on, let me see. Okay, she comes back pretty quickly.
Show you the document. Do you recognize that document that I've shown you as the police report that was prepared based on your statements on December 16th?
Yes.
You've seen this report before.
Yes, I made it.
And you see on the report where it says, she said that on this date, the male that she worked for entered her unlocked bedroom. They had been having an ongoing text exchange over money owed to Adams. She said that they began to discuss this, which apparently angered the male.
I did not.
Question pending yet.
Oh,
Do you see that
sorry.
language?
Yeah.
Oh, question pending. You're not gonna be interrupting too much more, apparently.
Did you say that to Police Officer Ellis on December 16th?
Yes, I see it.
And that wasn't true, was it?
To my recollection, it was true. We did discuss money and payment.
Ms. Adams, you just testified under oath about what happened on December 2nd. According
Okay,
to
I
you.
also didn't put in the police report our sexual relationship because I was ashamed. The police report got leaked.
We did not watch this. Ace Moonshot, you and I did not watch this, and we said sexual relationship happened. It happened. She's leaving it out. It happened. Well, ma'am, you are playing right into the defense's hands. Oh no, you didn't even let her finish telling you what you testified for to. Oh my God. Okay, what I'm understanding is that on her police report, she made it very clear that he attacked her because she kept confronting him about the money he did not pay her on the police report. But when she's testifying, speaking of that day, it was about arguing about, oh, now I can't go to Art Basel, but your girl can. That's what it sounded like to me. The other employee, she gonna go, but I can't go because they had a sexual relationship. And I think it was one of the things they argued about, but I really think it was about Miami Art Basel mostly.
I didn't put a lot of things. The most important thing was the attack in the police report. Me reporting anything outside of why he got upset, I didn't feel the need to put it. I was scared of how it received by the public. He's in a very public relationship with Cardi B. So I did not put a lot of things in the police report. My most important thing was him assaulting me and choking me and slapping.
But they're not asking you, did you omit right now? They're not addressing omission. They're addressing misdirection, bad facts, well, basically lies, not bad facts, but basically lies. That's what she's addressing right now. She's saying you're now saying this, but you said it was strictly about money in that police report, and that makes it relevant on why didn't you mention the other stuff that could have also motivated him to allegedly attack you. That's what I'm taking from it.
So that was the most important thing that I put in the police report. I was very vague. I didn't feel the need that I had to go and explain the relationship.
When you were asked,
But he could have still owed you money had she gone to Art Basel. Right? You weren't vague, you were misleading.
questions, you actually gave.
I
false-
didn't
Ma'am,
feel.
You must wait until I finish the
Sorry.
question.
Wait until counsel has finished the question.
Oh,
If you
okay.
can answer it. If you don't understand it, ask her to rephrase.
Because you didn't feel it was important. When you were asked questions about what happened on December 2nd, you lied.
It did not change what happened on December the 2nd.
I'm
It
gonna
did
try
not
my
change what happened on December the 2nd. He choked and slapped me.
Ms. Adams, I'm going to try my question again. Because you didn't think it was important. When you asked the questions of Dedham Police Officer Ellis on December 16th, you lied.
I did not lie. I just did not expand on detail on the relationship I had with Mr. Diggs. I didn't feel that that was important. The sexual relationship, I didn't feel like that was important. I didn't feel it was important that he was upset because I told him I was not in love with him like those other women. I was ashamed of being with him.
Your Honor.
Ma'am,
I didn't feel the
Ma'am,
need to explain that
Ms.
to the
Adams,
police officer.
Ms. Adams,
I'm sorry.
please answer the question.
Unfortunately, let's say all that she told was true and she left out stuff. They do have lie by omission. That's an actual category of a lie, though.
So that counsel can then ask you the next question. All right.
Under oath, on December 2nd, when you claim Mr. Diggs walked into your room, you had not been having a text exchange fight over money.
The
True?
last text exchange fight was over money. The last text exchange was me saying, you need to pay me out for the rest of the season. I'm out of your life. Give me the money for my business in that order. That was the last text exchange. His response to me,
Well, ma'am, before we get to his response, why don't we get
you
to
will
what
be
you
paying me out for the season and the money you said you would give me for my business. Wasted my, excuse my language, fucking time being here because you have a, excuse my language again, fucking circus going on.
All right.
I am out of your life. I am ruining that bitch life.
All right, Ms. Adams, you're going to listen to counsel's question. You're going to answer that question, and then you're going to wait for the next question. This is not an opportunity for you just to say whatever comes to mind.
Okay.
All right, it is to be responsive to the questions presented.
Okay.
Next question, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. That response that you just read, that was actually a response to something Steph wrote to you, right?
That was a text exchange over money.
No question, ma'am.
What was your question?
She's being non-responsive. She's replying back, but she's not answering the question. That's not what that woman asked her.
Just read into the record. That was a response to a text message that Steph sent to you, correct?
Yes.
And in that request, in that message that Steph sent to you, you understood you were getting fired, right?
No.
What Steph wrote to you is, "I'ma leave you be. Thank you for cooking for me for this season. I appreciate you. Hate it even got to this, but oh well." Right?
Yes.
And you understood when you received that he was telling you you were not going to be cooking for him anymore.
No.
You didn't understand that.
No.
And that's why you responded with, "You will be paying me out the season and the money you owe me."
No.
Because you knew you were about to lose your job, right?
I was not about to lose my job.
You didn't understand, "I'ma leave you be. Thank you for cooking for me this season. I appreciate you. Hate it even got like this," as a sign that you were about to lose your job?
No.
Okay. In any event, you didn't tell Officer Ellis on December 16th when you reported this assault any of that, right?
The last text message was about money. The last back and forth text messages was about money. Money he owed me for not finishing out the contract, and money he owed me that he said that he would invest in my business.
So,
I took a lower pay because Stefon agreed
Honor, may I have the
that
witness instruction?
I will have chance to work on my business by working with him.
There's the discount. Bam Bam, I think he was talking about that earlier. The discount is because he was going to allow her to work on her business, and per the defense, she asked him to invest in her business. So that's why she took that lower pay range. Okay. Yes, Candy Birds was queued up. I was ready academic. I just forgot I had her. She's got to stop interrupting. It's too late now. This is only a 2-day trial. It's too late now, but she should not have interrupted. It would give the jury at least a little more time to think, because her hardest hitting moment, although it was me and maybe Miss Tina looking for the tears, because her body language, she got super emotional. I know you don't have to cry, but I was looking for tears. I'm just gonna say, when she was like, "Can I have a second?" Her voice was shaking, her body started shaking. That was probably the most effective moment for the jury. And I'm saying it as if I was on the jury, that would affect me the most. But then you do this, and it's like, it's human to be defensive, but you also have to remember you're trying to communicate with the jury. The jury is your true audience. This is hurting her so bad.
There's no question in front of you right now. And again, please answer the questions put to you. It is not an opportunity for you just to vent with your story.
You told other falsehoods to Officer Ellis, didn't you?
No, not to my knowledge.
You told Officer Ellis that you had injuries from this alleged assault, right?
I told him I had bruising, redness, and soreness on my throat.
You told him you had bruising on your neck, right?
It was like red. It wasn't like purple bruises. On the incident report, if you pull that up.
Being put in a chokehold, red makes sense to me. I told y'all bruising did not make sense to me since he didn't use his hands, allegedly, according to her story about him attacking her. Yeah, I'm like, there would be no bruises if it's, well, most likely no bruises if you're getting like this. That's not how you get bruises. But she would have been red. I could see that. But of course, they're not going to see any of that because she, it was 2 weeks after the incident happened. So
You didn't have any injuries when you walked into the police office on December 16th, did you?
No, because that happened on December 2nd.
Right. So any injuries that you would have had, you had a reason for why they weren't there, right?
It happened, it faded. The fading went away the night.
Right. And did you take any pictures of your injuries?
I was in shock. The first thing was not to take pictures. It was to get it together.
I thought you just testified under oath that you had just received a text message from a woman named Anna. That's Anna Kokolis, right?
You're in the wrong timeline.
You didn't just testify
You're in
under
the wrong
oath.
timeline.
You didn't just testify under oath that you were sitting on your bed, reading a cookbook, got a text message from Anna, and Mr. Diggs walked into your room?
Mr. Diggs walked in minutes after I texted Anna. That's how I based the time on what time he walked in my room.
Okay. So you had a phone in your hand when he walked in the room?
My phone was on the bed. I was reading a book. I wasn't texting her in the moment of Mr. Diggs walking in the room.
No. Okay. But you had a phone right there in your room.
Yes.
It's an iPhone.
Yes.
It's got a camera on it.
Yes.
You can take videos with it.
Yes.
And you do take videos with it.
Yes.
You take pictures with it.
Yes.
You take pictures of yourself with it.
Yes.
A lot?
Not often.
Not often. You have social media account for your business, don't you?
Yes.
Do you post things on your social media account?
I'm not as active as I should be.
You don't use your iPhone to take videos or pictures for that?
I'm not a very active person on social media.
I see. But you certainly had a phone in your room when you claim you were violently assaulted and injured, right?
That has nothing to do or justify the reason I was attacked.
It's a yes or no question, ma'am.
Yes, I had a phone.
Okay. You took no pictures of your face or your neck or
That
your
has
chest?
nothing to do.
I need to finish.
Well, although they struck it from record, if you've already been in an abusive relationship previously, I do think it would be more in someone's mind that has been through this before and how hard it is to prove things, to take pictures. Even if it was a few hours later, you would take pictures. I would think a reasonable person would take pictures. I'll say that. Maybe she doesn't, but this is not the first time she said she was in an abusive relationship. So I don't know.
My question.
Okay.
You took no pictures of your face on December 2nd, did you?
No,
No pictures of your neck on December 2nd, right?
no,
No pictures of your chest on December 2nd.
no,
You said Mr. Diggs hit you across the face. Did you have any marks on your face?
no.
You understand Mr. Diggs is a professional football player, right?
Yes.
He's an elite athlete.
I don't know. He's an athlete.
You don't know that he's an elite athlete?
I guess
Okay.
you call him that.
And you testified he slapped you across your face?
Yes.
And you had no marks from it?
I was red. It was red. I'm lighter complexion.
Bruises, they get worse over time. Do you agree with me?
It was redness. It wasn't bruises.
Oh, hang on. There's an objection.
Oh,
let me warn
sorry.
the objection. That is overruled. You may answer the question.
Thank you, Anna.
I have redness, mark like I'm light skinned. I turn red when
You also get bruises, don't you?
if I hit something hard. Yeah.
Right. And bruises get worse over time, right?
Okay. I'm not
Do they?
sure. I'm not sure. I don't get bruises a lot. I don't recall.
Why would you use the statement "I don't recall" right there? Okay, I'm with the chat on her friends would have seen her face that night she flew to New York or whatever. Even the next day, because that's not going away fast. Because she said he open hand smacked her in the face. So I'm wondering about the face. I guess she only was red from the chokehold because again, that was his arm wrapped around her, not his fingers. But I'm with y'all on why did the friend see your face? Because your face would have shown it for a little bit. And swelling.
Do you recall telling Officer Ellis you were bruised on December 2nd?
My idea of bruising is soreness, hurting. I was red. It was redness. My face was red and on my chest was red.
What did she say she got her degree in again? Because she basically said for her chef part, she said she went to Italy and France, but I don't know if she said she studied under a chef in Italy and France. I don't know if she just traveled, did some taste tests, got some recipes and went back home. Because they asked her, were you professionally trained as a chef? And she answered, I have my degree in blank. I think she would understand what a bruise, psychology. Thank you, Bama girl. I think she'd understand what a bruise is. I do. I think these are simple questions she's being asked and she is skirting around them.
I didn't turn purple or pink or anything like that. I didn't. It was redness.
Because you didn't have any injuries when you walked into the police station on December 16th, Officer Ellis actually sent you a form to fill out to describe the injuries that you said you had on December 2nd, right?
Yes.
And you filled out that form, right?
Yes.
And you didn't do it on December 16th, did you?
No.
He actually emailed it to you and you took 2 days and then you emailed it back. True?
Yes.
Okay. And on that form, you put that your chest and throat were very sore for days after, right?
Yes.
And you put that you had redness, tenderness, pain, and bruising on your neck, right?
Like I said, bruising for me is redness. It was sore. It was redness.
Well, you filled out.
Faded away in literally like maybe by the next day, if earlier than that.
Miss Adams,
I don't fault her for using the word bruises. Hopefully y'all can still hear me. Okay, I think y'all can still hear me. My camera, I guess it overheated. But I can understand that she wrote the word bruises. That's fine. You're writing out a report. You might use an incorrect word. I'm finding it hard to believe that she's not answering the attorney on what a bruise truly is and things like that. Like, you know what a bruise is, even if you put it in the report and you maybe meant to say another word or you just used to saying when I turn red, I use the word bruise. That's fine. But she's just avoiding normal questions, though.
When did you learn that the defense had provided videos of you to the Commonwealth?
Maybe yesterday or Friday, I think. Sometime last week when I spoke with Drew.
So last Thursday, you met with Mr. Virtue to prepare for your testimony, right?
Yes.
And you met with your lawyer as well, right?
Yes.
Your lawyer is representing you in an effort to get money from Mr. Diggs. True?
My lawyers represented me in my workers' comp claim, the injuries that I received on the job that Mr. Diggs refused to pay for. That's what my lawyers represented me for.
Are you sure about that, ma'am?
She is my workers. I got my lawyer from workers' comp.
We'll come back to that. Let's stay with the form. You told Officer Ellis on December 18th, so now 16 days after you say you were assaulted, that you had redness, bruising, and soreness on your chest, right?
I told him that, or I wrote that.
Well, you wrote it in a form. You took your time and you chose which
I checked the
answers
marks.
to give,
Yes.
right? Okay. And you told him your shoulders were red and very sore, right?
Right. This whole area here was sore, across my chest, up here.
And you told him your whole body was sore, actually, didn't you?
It was.
You told him it was difficult for you to sleep.
I was very upset.
And I think you testified today that Steph supposedly put his forearm around your neck,
Steph did put his forearm around my neck.
not his hand.
No.
Okay. But you told Officer Ellis he used his hand, didn't you?
I told him he used this. This is the crook of his elbow. That is in the report.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That's the form that you filled out
I'm sorry, that attorney don't even look like she get in behinds like that, but she doing her thing.
over a course of 2 days and sent back to Officer Ellis, true?
Yes.
And if you look right in under the heading method and or manner of strangulation suffocation, right in the maybe top third of that page, you see that?
Yes.
Question number 2, how was the victim strangled? Check all that apply. See that?
Forearm, right hand.
You told him you were strangled with his right hand, true?
With forearm, right hand. That is what's checked.
Okay, but you just testified under oath it was only his forearm.
This is the right side. I'm little. Everything went across my neck. So
you were-
that is what I meant by forearm, right hand was his whole right side. Right hand was the smack and forearm was the choke. How was the victim strangled? That was right hand meant smack, but his whole right arm was across my chest.
You also estimated the level of pressure that the suspect used during strangulation. Do you remember doing that?
Yes. I peed myself and I came back on my cycle really heavily.
So that was
So
a
it
yes
was
or no question.
hard.
Ma'am? You gave it a yes. You remember doing that, right?
Yes.
And you had a choice. Low is a 1 and 10 is a high. You see that?
Yes.
What'd you pick?
10.
10.
Yes.
You said Mr. Diggs is 6 feet tall. He's actually 6'2", right?
I don't know.
You don't know how tall he is? You've known him for 4.5 years.
I don't know. He's taller than me. Way taller than me.
Okay. And you know he lifts weights every day, right? He takes hits from 300-pound men, right? For his job. True?
I guess.
Do you know that?
No, I don't know what his role is. And I thought he ran the ball. I don't know if I'm not sure what he does.
How many games that Steph Diggs has played in have you attended?
I don't know football. I don't watch it to know what's what. I've attended a couple games.
The question was, how many of Stefon Diggs's games have you gone to and watched?
Gone to maybe 4.
And you don't know that he gets tackled in that game?
I don't really watch it, honestly. I'm just there.
Hey, now, let me tell you what. Whatever your man is doing, and you go to his job to watch, you will see if what happens to him. So in her case, I'm using man lightly because she said they had a sexual relationship. If you're wanting to go to the game, you're seeing him and you're going to see if he got tackled. That's another one of those easy questions that kind of like, why are we doing this? You know, you saw him get tackled. You watching your guy. If you refuse and fight on the easy questions, it makes the jury question you on the harder questions.
The vibes. I don't really know what be going on in football. I don't know the rules.
I think you will agree with me, that if Stefon Diggs used 10 out of 10 force on your neck,
It was
But
10
if-
for me. For my little body and what I couldn't breathe, it was a 10 for me.
the question was, estimate the level of pressure that the suspect used during strangulation.
It felt a 10 to me. I could not breathe.
So you chose to answer a different question than the one you were asked.
This questionnaire is about me. Why wouldn't I answer it about me? This is not a questionnaire that's a united, I don't know how to say it, a global, this is about me. This is what happened to me.
Okay. But you will agree with me, hypothetically speaking, if Stefon Diggs used 10 out of 10 strength to choke someone, anyone, that person would have bruises on their neck.
I would not agree.
Sustained. That objection is sustained.
You will agree that if Stefon Diggs used 10 out of 10 force to choke you, you would have bruises on your neck.
Objection.
Sustained.
You see, she waiting for those objections now. She ain't interrupting too much when there's an objection.
Now, you went to New York, you said, on the evening of December 2nd, true?
True.
And you stayed there until December 9th.
Yes.
You had your phone with you all week.
Yes.
You took messages, you sent text messages.
Yes.
We know that because that's when you started talking about your money, right?
I did what?
You
I
testified.
asked for my money. I didn't talk about my money. I asked for it.
There you go again. Semantics. We're getting hung up. Asking, talking about, ma'am, you are fighting the wrong battles. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Ace Moonshot said previously she was swiveling back and forth while trying to spill tea. Now her body language is uncertain and combative. It is. It's crazy. Erica said she like, please get me out this hot water. Yeah, it's the same thing. I'm gonna say the same thing. She's hurting herself a lot. It's the wrong places in questioning wording. You talked about your money, asked about your money. We all would have thought same thing.
Him to have finance sign off to pay me.
My mistake.
Yes. Thank you.
We'll get to that money too. And you didn't think it was important to record your injuries or take photos.
No, I was in shock. This is someone that I love that put his hands on me. That was not my first instinct, was to go and take a photo.
Sure. And then December 3rd, you didn't take any pictures.
No.
And December 4th.
It's a very complicated relationship. No, I did not take photos.
And you didn't take any videos.
No.
And you didn't go to the ER.
No.
You didn't go to a walk-in.
He already hadn't
medical
paid my medical bills. Why would I go get more medical bills?
center. Objection, Your Honor. Move to strike.
The answer will be stricken, non-responsive. Jurors will disregard it and not consider your objection.
You didn't seek any medical attention, right?
Unpaid medical bills.
Your Honor.
Counsel sidebar.
Omar, you're closest to where I'm at right now. Not saying she's lying, but saying there is a lot of omission, which leaves me with doubt, which means the jury, as we will see, could not rule beyond, or not rule, but, come to their conclusion beyond a reasonable doubt. She leaves so many doors open.
Counsel, next question.
When you were with Shy and Tolly for that week in New York City, you didn't say anything to them about being
I don't
sore.
know Tally. I just met Tally on the night of December the 2nd.
Okay.
Shy Charles has her own personal relationship with
Ma'am?
Stefon.
I need to be able to ask you questions.
Okay, I
and
thought I was
still
answering the first question that you said. You didn't let me finish.
Ms. Adams, we're going to take it again, just a question at a time. All right, it isn't an opportunity for a narrative. And so let her ask her question, all right, and then answer the question. And if there is, if you're feeling that you're not being allowed to finish, you let me know. But
Okay.
just take it a question at a time, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Honor. You didn't tell them anything about being assaulted.
These are not people I trust to tell anything of that nature to.
They're just people that you trust to spend a week with.
These are people that I met.
Ooh, dang. She's quick. And I say she, I mean the attorney.
Through Stefon Diggs. I had no choice but to stay with him. I had no money.
I thought you just testified you had a ticket to Atlanta.
That Sonny brought.
And then you changed on December 2nd, right?
Yes.
And then you changed your ticket to Atlanta to go to New York
Yes.
with Shy and Sonny.
I
I'm
didn't-
sorry, with Shy and Tolly, right?
Yes.
So you did have someplace else to
I
go.
changed the ticket because I didn't have money for Ubers to get home in Atlanta. Shy was going to pick me up from the airport.
Okay.
I didn't have a place to stay in Atlanta. I given up my place to stay with Stefon Diggs. So I didn't have money for a hotel or Airbnb to go home to.
Ace Moonshot called this too, because I was talking about how much she makes a week and all this other stuff. And Ace Moonshot said it could be feast or famine though. So like, yeah, you might get a lot of money sometimes, but then if you go months without employment or whatever, then you're making less than minimum wage and stuff like that. So I see you on the feast or famine now.
Atlanta.
All right, Ms. Adams, hold up for the next question.
Thank you,
Go
Honor.
ahead, Counsel.
You've traveled with Shy before, right?
Yes.
You went with her to Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
You're actually friends with her, aren't you?
Associates,
Right.
co-workers.
Well, you've traveled to another country with Shy.
It's levels difference. It was a co-worker. I just met Shy in August.
Did Steph go on that trip to Trinidad and Tobago?
No.
Okay. And that was in the fall of 2025.
Yes.
And then you went on another trip in the fall of 2025 to see Shy, right?
No, I didn't go on another trip. I was told to leave the house. So I went to stay with Shy because I didn't have anywhere to stay.
Okay. And Shy picked you up in her car, you said?
Yes.
And can you describe what the inside of her car looks like?
It's a white car. I think it's burgundy or something like that.
So the outside is white?
Yes.
And then the inside is burgundy.
Now, I agree with, she had an opportunity to save the money she was making because you're not paying him rent or a mortgage. So although you gave up your place, you now don't have the expense of rent or mortgage. And I don't know, they named a lot of trips you took and you trying to start a business supposedly and all this other stuff. So you got to save. You got to save. So she's not saving her money. I can tell you that right now. So this is some personal responsibility we should be taking with this as well.
If most as I remember, I don't quite, can't say exact. I think.
Okay. And Shy has a dash cam right in her car, doesn't she?
Not that I'm aware of.
You didn't see a dash cam in her car?
No, I saw like where you see the speedometer and stuff like that.
No, not down on the panel where people look when they're driving. Up on the top of her car, there's a bar on the top of her car with a dash cam on it, right?
No, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that.
No.
Did Shy ever tell you that she had a dash cam in her car?
No.
Okay. Did you know that you were being recorded on that dash cam on December 2nd?
No.
Did you know you were being recorded on December 3rd?
No.
You know now you were recorded, correct?
Yes.
And you see.
Oh, so Shy is an associate post this trial or what should I say? Post evidence. Because Shy was probably the friend when they went to Trinidad But once you find out Shy out here, well, I don't even know if she was purposely recording her, because if you have a dash cam, you have a dash cam and it records when you're in the car or whatever you want to do. But Shy is not now an associate. She's downgraded because of those recordings. Okay. All right. So I'm not going on a trip with an associate and there's no buffers. No, no, no. I don't know associates like that. Out of the United States too? No. I'm not spending my free time with an associate.
The videos that came from Shy's dash cam in her car, true?
No,
Oh, you haven't seen them yet?
no.
Your Honor, permission to publish Exhibit 5. I understand it's already in evidence.
Go right ahead, counsel.
Your Honor, sorry, may we be seen at sidebar?
Sure.
All right, I'm skipping ahead. See how far we get. Oh, it's coming up fast again. Let's see.
Oh, she got picked up from a boyfriend's house in Queens.
Okay, but she was eventually in that car with you.
Yes.
So Shy was driving.
I'm going to go back a little bit because that was probably a crucial question. It's dark, but that's that dash cam recording. Hold on. Wait, is that? Dang. Sorry, y'all. I can't tell. Okay, she said describe what the inside of her car looks like. I went too far. Sorry, y'all.
And I believe you testified that you first became aware that there were videos of you last week.
Yes.
Okay, so we could just stop right there, Mr. Caldwell. I don't know, Ms. Adams, were you able to see that person in that video?
A little bit.
If not, we can play the whole thing.
Okay.
Okay. You can play the whole thing.
Do we want to also move that a little closer? Or?
I think it's logistics.
Sorry, that's a good point, Wakao. She said the DA never showed her the video. This is crazy. Yeah, that again, how are you not preparing her for what she was about to see? Or it's hard to believe she hasn't seen this video before now, or at least been warned about the video and how she looks in the video. Something.
So while this is playing, Ms. Adams, do you recognize that person on the video as you?
Yes.
And you're sitting in the front seat of Shy's car?
Yes.
And this is you when you were just after you were picked up from LaGuardia Airport on December 2nd, right?
Yes.
Okay. Was there someone else in the car to your memory?
No, not when she picked me up.
I'm sorry?
No, not when she picked me up.
Okay. Did Tali Moses also get picked up from LaGuardia just after you?
No, she got picked up from a boyfriend's house in Queens.
Okay. But she was eventually in that car with you?
Yes.
So Shy was driving the car, is that right?
Yes.
And then you're in the front passenger seat as we see you?
Yes.
And then did Tali sit in the back behind you?
Behind Shy.
I'm sorry?
Behind
Shy?
Shy.
Okay. And this was all on December 2nd?
Yes.
And this is the day you say you were violently assaulted?
Yes, that doesn't justify or prove that I wasn't assaulted because I learned how to save face.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Kettlewell, can we also show the next video? I believe it's also in Exhibit 5.
And Your Honor, just for clarification, there's Exhibit 5, I think, is just a number of videos in one exhibit.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Virtue. And do you recognize the person in this video?
Yes.
And that's you in Shy's car again?
Yes.
And this is the next day, right? It's December 3rd. Do you recognize that?
Yeah.
Well, You might not be able to see. I'll give you, Mr. Kettlewell, is this marked as Exhibit 5 also, the stills?
No, the stills are 6 and 7.
I'll show you what's been marked as Exhibit 7.
Okay.
You recognize that person as you?
Yes.
And that's you in Shai's car,
Yes.
right? When you visited her in New York City?
Yes.
And you say you don't remember if that's, what date that is? Your Honor, I'm sorry, may I approach?
Is that her? I mean, I guess it would be. Who else would they show right now? This is what I was looking for was the open hand smack marking on her face. Because I do believe there would not be bruising on her neck because of the arm over her neck instead of fingers. But I was looking, like Bam Bam, for redness on her face from that open hand slap.
One more time. If I could direct your
I didn't
attention.
say I didn't remember. I didn't remember what date it was.
Oh,
I can't tell the day that it is. I don't remember. I was in her car. I stayed for her the week. I don't know.
Okay.
You're telling me it's December the 3rd.
if I can direct your attention to this line right here.
Okay.
See how it says 2025 1203?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that means?
No.
Okay.
That means it was December 3rd, 2025.
But this is you on your New York trip
Yes.
with Shai in her car.
My New York stay was shy.
Okay. All right.
This has not been preliminarily marked. Parties offering it.
I believe that was intended to be in the thumb drive. It's in the thumb drive separately. So
The stills, though, I think Mr. Glick is referencing, have not been marked as 6 or 7 as the court's record. So if you want them admitted, they are not.
I have no objection to those stills being marked as 6 and 7.
Thank you.
This would be Exhibit 7. That has been.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Clerk. And this is,
Is there a copy for the court?
yes, sir. This is Exhibit 6. Lisa, and this is hard copy. And then you also had some videos taken of you by Tolly while you were in New York, right?
I don't remember. I don't recall.
Do you remember? Well, first, you, Shai, and Tolly all stayed in Brooklyn in New York from December 2nd to December 9th, right?
Yes.
And you all stayed in the same bedroom,
Yes.
slept in the same bedroom,
Yes.
and we're together a lot of the time that week. True?
Mostly yes.
Okay. And there was one night where you and Tolly were kind of goofing around with the video and taking videos. Do you remember that?
I don't recall that.
Okay. Mr. Kettlewell, can we play?
Here's the thing. This trial is taking place pretty closely to when the incident happened, because I've seen trials take 2-3 years before, like after the incident happened. So I find it hard to believe she doesn't remember taking pictures when this just happened last December. We're in May. We're barely in May. I feel like you know. I just think she doesn't want to get to that point to have to discuss those videos and pictures.
Exhibit 8. And well, before we do, I would move Exhibit 8 into evidence. It's a video from December 6th. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, just no objection to that for the record.
And Ms. Adams, did you recognize the person on that video?
Yes.
Who is that?
Me.
And that's in Shai's bedroom, right?
Yes.
Where you and Tolly and Shai spent the entire week, right?
Majority Tally would sleep on the couch some days.
I'm sorry?
Tally would sleep on the couch some days.
Okay. But in that video, Tolly was videoing you, right?
I don't recall that
You don't remember
time.
that?
Yeah, but I was there.
Okay. Mr. Kettlewell and Your Honor, I would move in Exhibit 9, which is another video from that same time. December 6th, 2025.
That's still,
For the record, I believe it's also Exhibit 8.
yes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Now I'm gonna say this: ain't nothing wrong with the fact that if you were assaulted, you still can have fun a couple days after because it's just humans. It's just humans. So, are we looking for bruising on these? Because if we didn't see it in the first one, we're not definitely gonna see it in the other ones. But I think the December 2nd and 3rd videos would probably be the most damaging, depending on how the jury would look at her. But December 6th, I mean, she could be dancing around and stuff. You don't stay down in the dumps, even when really bad stuff happens to you.
Ms. Adams, that was you on that video, correct?
Yes.
All right. And Your Honor, I would move in stills as Exhibit 9 and 10. Those are stills from Exhibit 8.
Your Honor, no objection.
Thank you. Thank you. And Ms. Adams, I'd just ask you to look at those and tell me if that's a fair and accurate representation of you from the week you spent in New York
That day, yes.
on December 6th, 2025.
Yes.
Your Honor, may I publish to the jury? Thank you.
Just for the record, counsel, what is the exhibit number that the
I am offering to the jury Exhibits 9 and 10, which are two stills taken from the second video of Exhibit 8.
And no objection, Your Honor.
Are there any more video clips, counsel, you'll be using, or can we put the lights back up?
I think we can put the lights back on, Your Honor. Thank you. Now, Steph and his group got back from Miami to his Dedham home on December 7th, correct?
I'm not sure the day he got back. I got back on the night,
I'm sorry?
Tuesday. Well, it was late in the night. Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. The 9th, I got back.
Well, you know he got back to the Dedham house before you did.
I didn't know that. When I got there, I realized that he was there. I was in no communication with him on what day he was coming back.
But you were in communication with him.
To ask for my pay, yes.
Can you turn to tab C, which has been marked as Exhibit 3, please?
Mm-hmm.
And you testified about a text exchange you had with him at around 12:30 on December 2nd, where you called him a pussy, right?
Yes.
And then he said, show me I'm pussy, and you said, will do,
Yes.
right? And then if you turn the page, if you look to the next message from you, so in Exhibit 3, there are bubbles, right? There's blue bubbles you see and green bubbles.
Yes.
And do you understand the green bubble to be Steph Diggs' messages
Yes.
and the blue bubbles to be your messages?
Yes.
Okay. And if you look on the page, I hope you're on the right page. It ends in that number on the bottom right corner at 118. Do you see that number? Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
7 is the page we just looked at.
Okay.
We're looking at 118, your first message. And do you see down here these numbers here?
Yes.
So this message was sent on December 5th, correct?
Yes.
All right, and you sent it.
Yes.
So now this is 3 days after the violent assault that you talked about. Right?
Yes.
And what did you say in that message?
Hi, can you approve my pay with finance, please? I have to pay my insurances this month. Thank you. Please and thank you.
Okay. And then if you could look at the next message. Actually, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's hold that for a second. So you were texting with Steph Diggs and the week you were in December. I'm sorry, in the week in December, you were in New York, right?
I text Stefon one time.
Okay. But your testimony is you don't know when he was coming back to the Dedham house.
I didn't know the exact date.
You didn't, but you knew he was coming back.
Yes.
Because that would be important to know, right?
I've worked in this industry. I went off of a previous client schedule. They normally will return on Tuesday. So
Well,
I was in guest mode.
But the last time you saw Steph Diggs was when he was assaulting you, you said.
That wasn't the last time I saw Steph Diggs. I said here that I walked in his room after the assault before I was leaving to give him his birthday gift.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. You gave him a birthday gift after the assault happened.
We were friends for 4.5 years with a very complicated relationship.
Okay. So if I could ask you actually to turn to Exhibit 4, which is behind the tab D. And Your Honor, this is in evidence. And if you look at that number on the bottom right corner, turn to the page that ends in 173. And I'll ask you some questions before we get to that substance, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think you testified on December 9th, you went back to the Dedham house, right?
Yes.
And you got yourself an airplane back to Boston, right?
Sonny got me an airplane back to Boston.
Okay. And you landed at Logan Airport at night.
Yes.
Then you took an Uber to the Dedham house.
Yes.
You arrived around 11:30 p.m.
Yes.
You were alone.
Yes.
You came by yourself.
Yes.
Didn't bring anybody.
No.
Okay. And when you got in the house, you went and knocked on Steph's bedroom door.
I went to put my things away and I knocked on his door. Yes.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
I went to put my things away and knocked at his door.
Okay. And that was around midnight on changing over from December 9th to December 10th, right?
That's what it says here. I don't recall the time, but this is what the messages say.
Well, he didn't open his door, did he?
His code was different. He changed the codes when I came back.
Ah, right. Because in that house, the bedrooms all had key codes on each door, didn't
That he
they?
controlled. Yes.
Did the bedrooms all have key codes on that door?
Yes, that he controlled.
I'm sorry. This is a yes or no question. See if you can try it. Did all of the bedrooms in that house have...
Hold on. Oh, yes or no question. See if you can try it. She about done with this lady. Okay. All right. We're almost there. We actually are making it through the whole day because a lot of it was waiting, a lot of sidebars, all that stuff. So we actually might finish this day because I get to telework tomorrow. So I got a little more leeway too. We'll see. All right.
codes on that door?
Yes, that he controlled.
I'm sorry. This is a yes or no question. See if you can try it. Did all of the bedrooms in that house have different key codes on them?
Yes, that he controlled.
So you can't.
What do you mean?
You had a key code on your door, right?
Yes.
And if it was shut, it would be locked, right?
No. The door had issues. I would often text Sunny because she checked and make sure my door was locked.
I'm sorry. When did you text Sunny to please check if your door was locked?
When I left the first week of November, when he made me leave to have female guests over.
Your Honor.
Come on. No, that's the whole, okay. You should want to leave. He made you leave to have female guests over. The first week of December is only 1 December, 2 December, 3. And she said he attacked her on the 2nd of December, which is the first week of December. He still had to make her leave. Abusive or abused people stay in relationships. So it's not unlikely she would stay in the house, but she's focusing on the ladies and the fact that I don't know if he stopped their sexual relationship by that time, but it really feels more like this is a relationship issue.
That answer is not responsive will be stricken, and the jurors will disregard it in their deliberation.
Okay. So on December 9th, round about midnight, when you got back to his house alone, you
Yes.
went and knocked on his door, right?
Yes.
And he didn't open it.
I didn't
right?
knock. I tried to get in the door.
Okay, you tried to walk into his door.
No, that's how I would go in his room. I would unlock his door.
Sure, just like
That's what she just asked. She said, so you tried to get in the room. And you say no, but then you describe in more detail the actual answer that she was trying to get to. Why are we doing this after? Okay.
like always, right?
When he needs food and his door was closed, I would go in his room.
Right.
I never went in his room without permission.
You going in there on December 9th was no different than any other day, right?
No.
And when you weren't able to get in, you actually sent him a text message, right?
Yes.
And you told him, can you read what you told him?
I was coming to ask you what time you have to be at work and to say hi.
Okay. And then you just went right back to work, right?
Yeah, I went to bed.
I'm sorry?
I went into my room and went to bed.
You went into your room and you went to sleep
Yes.
by yourself
Yes.
in the house
Yes.
with Steph Diggs there.
Yes.
And then the next morning you got up and you made him breakfast.
Yes.
Now you told Officer Ellis when you reported the assault that you left your position on December 2nd. Do you remember that?
I was saying I left the house. I didn't leave my position.
I think when I read the police report for myself, it did sound like she was quitting at that time. But she wasn't, because she went back till he fired her.
Really going back to get my things. I had no plan, with nowhere to go, so I needed to be nice to him.
Did you tell Officer Ellis after the alleged assault on 12/2/2025, Adams left her position and left the residence to stay with a friend in New York?
Left my position mean I left to get on a plane and go.
No, that's not what leaving your position means. And let's recap. What the courts usually look at is what does a reasonable person mean, or what would a reasonable person do? And if you say left my position in writing, you're saying you quit. That's not what she did, but that is what you're saying when you word it like that. You do not mean I'm getting on a plane. Nobody is going to jump from, she said she left her position, but she just mean she's getting on the plane. You can't do, this is why the jury's not going to trust her.
Tell him I quit. That didn't mean that I quit.
You didn't quit.
No.
Did you tell Officer Ellis that on 12/9/2025, you returned to the house just to get your property?
Yes, I was going to get my property.
But you were also going to work for a while first?
Basically, I was going to get my property. I was trying to get my money. I asked Mr. Diggs the next day about my money when I returned to the house.
And you kept on cooking and doing your job for a whole nother week, didn't you?
No, I stopped cooking. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't cook over the weekend because I said on the 11th, I asked Mr. Diggs in front of his mother and Shar Charles about my pay.
Okay.
That was another text.
Okay, now I had to pull up hold on. Did I go back the right way? Maybe not. Let me do this right. I'm going to December 2025 calendar. She said he got back from Art Basel on the 9th, right? That was the Art Basel thing. I don't know if it's a week long, but whatever trip he was on, he got back on the 9th. She comes back on the 9th. So she cooked him breakfast on the 10th, the morning of the 10th. She cooked for him on the 11th, the 12th, and she's saying, I think I stopped cooking for him on the weekend, which would have been the 13th, 14th. getting real close to that date she was fired.
I'll ask a
Exchange.
different question.
Okay.
On several days of that week, you simply kept doing your job, right?
And asking for my pay.
That's a yes or no question, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
You kept doing your job.
Yes.
Officer Ellis was wrong when he wrote that you left your position on 12/2.
I left the house. So him putting position didn't mean that I left my job as a chef. I left the house on December the 2nd.
So you told Officer Ellis that you left your position, but you meant you left the house to go to New York.
Yes, I left for the day. I didn't. It wasn't that I was saying I quit or saying it in a way that I quit my job. I didn't say that.
You've mentioned Mr. Diggs' assistant, Sonny, a couple of times, right?
Stealing Sonny, yes.
I'm sorry?
Stealing.
There she go again. There she goes again. Not just Sonny, stealing Sonny. Ma'am, you're not a sympathetic victim.
Sonny, that's what he calls me.
Which I know, like in other things, like that would be like not good, because that's just because you're not a sympathetic victim doesn't mean you're not a victim. But I'm at the point where I have been watching her for a while, and I feel like there was a spat between them. She felt comfortable probably physically coming at him. Toxic. And maybe his retaliation, either defense holding her or he attacked her. Two toxic people is what I'm seeing right now. Especially with the sexual relationship, the personal relationship. She also said she loved him at one point on this testimony. I meant to point that out when she said it. This is sounding really toxic. Nobody should put their hands on each other, but I think she also laid some hands. I do.
Your Honor, I move to strike, and I'd ask that the witness be instructed to please answer a question.
That answer will be stricken. The jurors will disregard it. Ma'am, if you don't understand the question, please ask the
Okay.
counsel to restate it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sonny was a friend of yours, wasn't she?
No.
Ms. Adams, you texted Sonny all the time, didn't you?
Because that was my contact. Go to
Dang. Sonny buying her plane tickets. Shy buying her trips. Now Shy and Sonny are at best associates, and she the nickname Sonny stealing Sonny.
contact for payment. Go to contact if I didn't have access to his card or I didn't have my money on my card to order food. And we would discuss things at work.
I'm going to show you a document. Take a look and see if you can recognize that as text messages between you and Sonny.
Mhm.
Could I see what this is?
Of course.
Oh, real quick, I want to say prosecution is not even fighting back. They're not even pinching the defense. I just had to make sure we put that out there. Prosecution, they must see it's a losing battle with this one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you can have it. Do you recognize that document as text messages between you and Sonny?
Yes.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Your Honor, may I approach? Submit. This document doesn't have numbers on it, so I'm just going to direct you. Do you see where the messages start on Thursday, December 11th?
Yes.
At 7:44 a.m., you see that?
Yes.
And this is an exchange between you and Sonny, right?
Yes.
And you write to her, morning, did you change my door code, right?
Yes.
And that's what you were just talking about. Each door has its own door code in Steph Diggs' home, right?
Yes.
And you were having trouble getting into your door code on December 11th.
Yes.
And had you been having trouble getting into your door code since you got back on the evening of the 9th and 10th?
When I walked in on a knife, it pushed right open.
Okay. All right. So it changed in somewhere around there.
When the morning, maybe when I walked out the door, that morning I made breakfast. If I'm not mistaken, that's the morning that,
Yeah, ma'am, I'm just going to stop you because
Okay.
it's not responsive.
all right.
All right. So on December 11th at 7:44, you asked Sunny, did you change my door code? And she says, no, I don't know the code. Right?
She doesn't have access to change codes.
Okay. And she says, Rich? Question mark. Who's Rich?
Rich was like, somebody that helped around the house.
He was like a maintenance guy.
I don't call him that.
Just someone to help around the house.
He did a lot of stuff for Mr. Diggs.
Okay.
He wasn't a
And he was at
maintenance
the house
person.
a lot, right?
If we needed anything, yes, we will call Rich.
Okay. And you say to Sunny, I asked, he hasn't answered yet. And then you say they changed it, right?
Yes.
Sunny asks, who changed it?
Your Honor, may we be seated sidebar?
Yes.
Woo! Sidebars to the sidebars. Hold on, it didn't take too long. Let me see.
Who changed it? And what did you say to Sunny?
He said they. He said they. So
What else did you say to Sunny?
He said, hey, so Steph and the, excuse my language, white bitch.
I'm sorry?
What? I said, he said they.
Now, before she finishes reading this, did the attorney not say, what did you say? I don't know if she said, what did he say?
So Steph and the white bitch.
When you said he said they, the he in that sentence was Steph, right?
Yes. No. Yeah. Yes. 'Cause I said
And
Steph
the
next.
they, who was that?
Them two together.
So your testimony is, so the white bitch, is that Lindsay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So was that the kind of thing you said to your coworker?
Yes, because she called me a bitch first.
I see. So you were kind of friendly with Sunny.
Yes.
You shared stuff with her.
Sonny disliked her too.
Okay. She shared that.
They
in
had
common.
their own thing before I came.
And then if I could ask you to turn to tab D in your binder, which is Exhibit 4. And I'm sorry to do this, but if you could look, the numbers at the bottom right, the number that begins, that ends 178. You there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so that text exchange with Sunny, that was at 7:44 a.m. on December 11th.
Yes.
All right. And if you look at these messages on page 178 of Exhibit 4, this blue message at the top is something that you sent on December 11th, 7:52 a.m. Do you see that?
Yes.
And you sent it to Steph.
Yes.
What'd you say to Steph?
Did Lindsay change my door code? And why can't I get into my room?
Okay. And then you and Steph kind of have a back and forth about the codes and why can't you get in, right?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, never mind. Lindsay's not the one that steals. I was about to say her nickname should have been something else, but it was Stephanie that steals. Wait, stealing? No, Sunny. Sunny steals.
I don't remember that. That's not listed here though.
Okay. And meanwhile, you're also having a text exchange with Sunny about Steph and the white bitch, right?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor. May we be heard?
Yes.
I'm back and thank you, Your Honor.
Stated at sidebar that objection is sustained. Let's move on.
Thank you, Your Honor. So you and Steph have some back and forth that same morning, December 11th, right?
Yes.
In text message. And he explains to you, if you can turn the page to 2 pages in, to page 180. He explains to you, I didn't know if you were if he was going come back or not, so I had him changed. Right?
Stefon know why he had the door lock changed.
Is that what he wrote to you on
Yes.
December 11th in the morning?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you respond? It's right there on the same page in the blue bubble.
No, it's not.
Can you see it?
Lord. Oh, Lord.
And if you can turn the page,
She's just ready to fight. It's literally in front of her. I saw the blue bubble from my screen. She's just ready to fight.
Steph wrote, shit you was saying, it was like it was over with. I was like, well. You understood he was talking about the text fight you had on December 2nd, right?
No.
Yeah. What did you respond to Steph?
I said no.
I'm sorry?
I said no. I didn't say yeah.
You didn't understand that he was talking about the last time that you saw each other on December 2nd, which is the day you got in the text fight about Lindsay and you not going to Miami?
Me and Stefon had arguments all the time. Like, not all the time, often, and it would just fly over. But it didn't turn into a fight like it did. I needed to come back to get my things.
Let's see what did you respond to Stefon on December 11th? And this is now 9 days after you were assaulted, supposedly.
I was assaulted. It wasn't supposedly.
What did you respond to Steph?
Was very emo. Sorry I made you feel that way. I don't want to leave. I want to stay to take care of you as long as I need you.
Is that what she said? That's what she said to Steph?
And you sent him a second message.
Really sorry, Steph.
You were angry with him on December 2nd. You already
I
testified to that.
needed to be nice to Stefon in order to get my pay to leave.
I'm sorry, you were texting?
I needed to be nice to Stefon in order to get my pay to leave.
Let's talk about your pay.
Yes.
Without her other testimony, it is hard for, if someone's not covered under HR and stuff, for a woman to get just paid without having to be really nice. So I would take that. I would, but her other testimony has killed this for me.
You admit that you were apologizing to him about December 2nd and your behavior, don't you?
I was being nice to Stefon to get back in his good graces to get paid.
You were apologizing for your
Not
behavior.
by choice.
You were apologizing to Stefon Diggs by text on December 11th for your behavior on December 2nd.
Not by choice.
Is that a yes?
That's a not by choice.
It's a yes or no question, ma'am.
I don't know what that would be, a yes or no question.
It's a yes or no question.
If the witness is saying she can't answer that yes or no, she can have the answer stand that you gave.
Okay. All right, so your claim, I guess, is that Steph owed you money.
It's not a guess. Stefon did back wages.
You were
Wages
paid-
owed.
You were
It was
paid-
wages. I think you should use the correct language.
Because that's the language she's using in her lawsuit. She can use any word she wants to ask you the question. Oh, she's combative.
The correct language
It's
for your
wages.
civil lawsuit.
I don't have a civil lawsuit.
You were paid $2,000 per week to cook for him, right?
Yes.
And if you used your own money to buy groceries, you were reimbursed for that.
Yes.
And when you were hired to work as Steph's chef, you didn't have to fill out a job application, right?
I stated previously, me and Stefon had an interpersonal relationship. that would professional.
So is that a no? I did not.
I don't know how to
fill out-
answer that question. Yes or
Fill
no.
out a job application?
I don't know how to answer that question. Yes or no.
Ma'am, did you fill out a job application?
No,
Yes or no?
no.
Next question.
You didn't have any employment contract or anything?
Yes, we did.
And that's if they truly didn't, that's a mistake to not have a contract. Because they say Judge Million would say friends stay friends when they write contracts. That's how you stay friends. So then nobody got to go off the memory of what we agreed to in the beginning. But I remember it differently this way. 4-year friendship, you stay friends with a contract that is clear language, clear and plain language. I'm gonna go back to see her what she said about the contract thing, but also what else did the other question they just asked her that she was like, I don't understand the question, but it was a clear yes or no. Oh, did she say did you have to apply for the job? Right, that was the other question, and she was being difficult with that. That's easy. It's yes or no.
Next question.
You didn't have any employment contract or anything?
Yes, we did.
Did you sign a written employment contract?
We had a verbal text contract.
Okay. You didn't have to interview with anyone to get the job, right?
He knew my skills.
Okay. So on December 1st, this is the day before you say you were assaulted, you submitted an invoice to be paid, didn't you?
Yes,
And can you explain to the jury, so you weren't just automatically paid?
I was supposed to be. They sent maybe 2 automatic payments, and then the rest was I would have to go through Sunny.
Right. You'd have to confirm with Sunny you worked that week, right?
I would have to, not that I confirm, I lived there, so it wasn't never a confirmation.
She was there a lot too, right?
No,
Okay. So you did have to confirm with Sunny if you worked there or not.
not that I worked. I had to confirm with Sunny my reimbursements. I lived there.
And on December 1st, what you did was you took an invoice for money you claimed you were owed, right?
It's not a claim, it's money that I was owed.
You submitted an invoice on December 1st for payment, right?
I don't recall. I don't know the exact date.
That actually would help her to remember, because if she submitted an invoice for payment on December 1st, then she was attacked December 2nd. That's actually when she should remember. It could indirectly help her, because then it wouldn't have been about the assault or anything. She was already asking for her money.
Have you seen this document before?
Yes,
It's an email dated December 4, 2025 from Melissa Goddard.
I saw that in a text screenshot. That email that Melissa has of mine was not working at the time. This was a screenshot that Stefon sent me. I never received this email.
Okay. This is an email from Melissa Goddard.
I never received it to my email.
Did you see the text of this message before?
I seen a screenshot similar. I can't recall
You know
the
you
exact
have.
message.
Would you like me to give you a document to
Sure.
refresh you?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. I am, if you want to give the jury a break, it's just going to take me a couple of minutes.
Sure, why don't we just take a 5-minute stretch break?
Your Honor, I just don't want to waste time.
Mr. Bell?
Prosecution better tell her to get her head back cool. You're doing the most. And our objections aren't sticking.
On the page, did you see the? Thank you, Your Honor. May I proceed?
Yes, go right ahead.
We were just looking at an email and you didn't remember, you said you hadn't received it in that form. If you can turn the page, did you see the invoice?
Yes.
And that was your invoice, right?
Yes.
And you said on that invoice dated December 1st, right?
Yes.
That you were owed payment of $2,000 for three weeks in November, right?
Yes.
And you were owed grocery reimbursement for $3,179.06, right?
Yes.
And that was what you submitted to get payment.
Yes.
And you said you didn't receive this email, but you remembered getting it by text message, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so you have read and you remember seeing the substance of this email, true?
Yes.
Okay. And this is a response to your invoice, right?
I don't recall because Stefon was refusing to pay me for the week he sent me home.
Well, Melissa Goddard writes on December 4th, I appreciate you may not have received this on December 4th, but she writes, thank you for providing an invoice. I've attached a readable PDF. Hang on. Yeah.
So it seems like we should have been doing these invoices and like, thank you, Bam Bam, for specifying this is a reimbursement invoice, not payment for service invoice, because that does make a difference. But it seems like we should have been invoicing for services and reimbursements because it seems like there's professional replies when we're invoicing for reimbursements. Not this other informal being paid. It almost sounded like she was being paid through Cash App or something with when he sent her money.
And it turned out, Ms. Adams, you had gotten paid for 2 of the 3 weeks that you said you hadn't gotten paid for, right?
This is missing a whole lot of stuff.
The yes or no question.
I can't answer your question correctly without the proper evidence.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Do you recognize this document as text exchanges between you and Sunny?
Yes.
Dated December 9, 2025.
Yes.
And you're the person in the bubbles on the left?
Yes.
And you write to Sunny, hey, so I looked over my transfers, payment history, and they sent payments 11/7 and 11/21 totaling $4,000. See that?
Yes.
So you knew that you had actually been paid for 2 of those 3 weeks that you tried to get paid for again, right?
What's your name? I never got your name.
Did you know
I
that
don't
you
know.
had
I
been-
was trying to address you by your name.
Oh, so now she's trying to intimidate. Girl, this is cooked. I don't even know why we need a day 2 of the trial at this point. We're done here. This woman done ate her up so bad. Oh my God. I didn't get your name. Nah, don't manipulate. You're done, ma'am.
Because I'm sorry. I'm not this. I don't know. I can't answer that question correctly.
You knew on December 9th that you had been paid for 2 of the 3 weeks you said you hadn't been paid for, didn't you?
I don't understand the question.
You just acknowledged you wrote it to Sunny.
I was supposed to be paid for the week I was sent home. So
Okay.
I sent the incorrect amount because I didn't know he wasn't paying me for that week.
Right. So you sought $6,000 instead of $2,000.
That's my calculations was
Right. And so that last week, that was a week you didn't work, right?
because I was sent home.
Right. So you weren't in the kitchen cooking.
Mr. Diggs sent me home because he had girls at the
Ma'am,
house.
Whatever you're going to
I
add
should
is
be
not
paid.
responsive, Your Honor.
Yes. Ms. Adams, you
I'm
do you
sorry.
understand the question you're being asked?
I don't
Answer
understand.
her question. Answer Attorney Silva's question, all right, if you can.
I feel like she's a very intelligent person. Because I think she said she got her degree in psychology. She didn't drop out. She just changed her passion later on, as we are known to do. I think she understands these questions perfectly, but it's getting a little too close. The heat's turning up.
If it's confusing to you, she will restate it. Counsel, did you restate your question?
Yes. So you weren't in the kitchen cooking that week, right?
No.
Okay. If you can turn back to tab D, the page that ends 171, this is exhibit 4. It has been marked and admitted into evidence. Let me know when you get there.
I'm in D.
You there?
Mm-hmm.
So these are both, on this page, these are both blue bubbles. So this is your text messages, right?
Yes.
All right. And on December 9th, 2025 at 2:27, you text Steph Diggs, right?
Yes.
And what do you say to Steph Diggs
Hi,
on December 9th?
Oh, girl, what did you say? What did you say? She's making me have trepidation now. There was something I was going to say. Yes, Iris may be interested in this because if you get paid through Cash App, well, Cash App makes you change your account now too if you hit over a certain amount. But yeah, I don't know about her taxes situation. He needs to pay via a traceable way, electronic check, not a paper check, just so there's a traceable way it went to a checking account. He does need to get his house in order. Who said that earlier? He has to get his house in order. He needs to be more professional because this gray and this ambiguity is making. This time she made herself look so bad. The next person may learn from her and do better. I also think that she's being combative because as this case is going on, her case, the civil case, seems like it's getting weaker and weaker as well. You know, like it's kind of they're parallel right now, so it's not going too well in their civil case either. If they're going to be able to look back at some of this, which I don't know if they can do that, but I feel like I don't know.
Do you need help finding it?
What's the last?
171. I can help you find it if it would be easier.
I said, can she call?
I'm sorry, the second text message.
Read the second text message
Yes, please.
without reading the
You
messages
can read
before.
the first and we can talk about who you're asking about. That's fine.
I was told to contact Melissa about my pay.
Okay.
So I responded, can she call me or can I call her?
And Melissa, just to the record's clear, is Melissa Goddard, right?
Yes,
She's Steph Diggs' bookkeeper.
that's what I was told.
She's the person who wrote that email on December 4th informing you that you had been already paid for 2 of the 3 weeks you were looking for, right?
I didn't receive that email.
Understood. So you were asking if she could call you or you could call her, right?
I was told to
You were
reach out to
told you
her.
could talk to her, right?
Yes,
And you never called her, did you?
yes, I did.
What did you say in the second
I
text
asked him
bullet?
for the number.
I'm sorry. And
I
what did
asked him for Miss Melissa Goddard's number.
the number is right on the email that you got in text form.
But that was later time.
This was December 4th. The email is from December 4th. The text message you're about to read is 5 days later, December 9th.
What I'm trying to say to you is that text message was sent at a later date to me.
On December 9th, you acknowledged to Sunny that you knew you had been overpaid. I'm sorry.
Overpaid?
I'm sorry.
Underpaid.
You knew that 4 of the $6,000 you were seeking, you had already received. And the last week that you hadn't been paid for was the week you weren't there. And now if you can read this text message that you sent to Steph Diggs on that same day, December 9th.
Hi, so I looked over the payments. Are you not paying me for the week you told me to go home? If not, that's fine. And just for my past employers, when I'm asked not to work, I'm still paid because I'm only with them for the season. It was full.
But did you have a contract to just be paid by the season? Because even if that's your norm from previous employers, if y'all didn't have a formal agreement about that, he's not expected to pay you for the season. You didn't agree to that. He can't read your mind or know what other people do. You have to set the expectations. And just she's in her 40s. I'm in my 40s. I'm not age shaming. She's in her 40s and she's not doing to me the bare minimum of someone that has made this her career. And now, because I had to catch up, because I had to go downstairs earlier. Did the attorney just get to the point where the only part she has not been paid for is the week she was sent home, and everything else we're good, we're zeroed out?
To say them, it said the season.
So that takes care of all of the weeks that you said you weren't paid for on December 1st, right?
The weeks that I sent to him calculated was adding in that week.
Right. 2 weeks you had already been paid for. 1 week you didn't work, and you told Steph on December 9th, if you don't want to pay that, that's fine. Right?
Yes.
All right. You also sought $3,179.06 in reimbursement for money you claimed you spent on groceries.
Yes.
That was on December 1st.
That's the day I sent the email.
Okay.
The text to Sunny.
And you knew that you needed to submit receipts to justify that level of expense on groceries.
That's what I did. Yes.
Is your testimony here under oath that you submitted receipts justifying $3,179.06 spent on groceries out of your money?
It was messed up. Was off. Something was off. Some receipts were the wrong receipt, and we cleared it up.
So something was messed up about that,
Yes.
money, right?
Yes.
You talked about an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. Melissa asked you to return an NDA, right?
No.
I'm sorry?
No.
Before we touch more on this NDA part, can you get workman's comp as a contracted employee? And I mean workman's comp in the sense of you didn't get like a third party insurance or something to cover you in case you needed workman's comp. Because doesn't Aflac or something do workman's comp? So real question, as a contracted employee, are you entitled to workman's comp? Is that just a right as if you just work for somebody, period, no matter how you work for them, you can get workman's comp? Because I'm gonna wait for y'all to answer that, then I might have something else to come back and say.
Sunny asked me.
You received an email from Melissa Goddard on December 13th, right?
Melissa and Sunny, I was having problems with the email, the same email.
Yes or no question, ma'am?
I can't answer that correctly.
May I approach?
Oh, they're about to approach this bench again? Oh, no, they're about to approach. And I said bench. I did not say the B word because I know, like, oh, that sounded close. BENCH is what I said. But I think they're about to approach her. Okay, so California, yes, with insurance. Bam Bam says if she's a 1099 employee, she has to get her own insurance. Academics said for California to get insurance through the state. This is the reason why I'm bringing this back up, because do y'all remember when the defense attorney said, is this something related to your lawsuit or whatever? And she said, no, that's a workman's comp. It's not, it's for workers' comp. It's not a lawsuit. Or what I know she said it's not a lawsuit, but I feel like she opened a lawsuit. But if you're trying to get workman's comp, I thought you would go through your insurance. However you got the insurance to make sure you cover workers' comp, I thought that's what you would get, how you would get the money. So I'm now questioning, where's this lawsuit? Because she's like, my attorney says it's workman's comp. All right, which is why the lawyer asked them about contracts. Right, how I see it. Right.
Your Honor.
You may.
All right, while they still getting settled, then my question is, okay, A Smooth Shot said workman's comp would not apply unless she gets elective coverage. Academic said, yep, because someone working on my house got hurt and I didn't have to pay anything. So we're talking about insurance again, coverage. Okay, you might have had coverage through your insurance to make sure you didn't, but they got paid. Okay. Then hold on. Oh no, you said you didn't have to pay anything. Then Bam Bam says she's trying to say she was injured on the job. Isn't that what workman's comp is for, when you're injured on the job? But so that's why I'm going back to, wouldn't that be an insurance thing, not a lawsuit thing? Erica said even if she's paid under the table, she's likely covered. They were undocumented. Got you, academic. Yeah, they're in Massachusetts. Yep. But it still feels like this is something you go through your insurance on. And you might have an insurance attorney, but the way the defense attorney brought it up is as if she's suing him, not going through her insurance or his insurance, whoever's, to get workman's comp.
Do you recognize that as an email you received from Melissa Goddard on December 13th?
Yes.
And the subject line is NDA payment.
Yes.
She tells you she's Melissa, Mr. Diggs's bookkeeper, right?
Yes.
So you hadn't talked to her before December 13th because she's introducing herself right now.
Yes.
Okay. She says, please return the completed NDA provided to you by Sunny to this email address, right?
Yes.
This is required for employment with Mr. Diggs or any of his entities, right?
Yes. That's
Sunny
what
has an NDA, doesn't she?
I'm not sure.
You don't know?
I don't talk to Sunny about her business, but Mr. Diggs.
All right.
But you talk about something because you call her Still and Sunny, right? Don't you call her Still and Sunny? So how do you know he didn't gift her those watches that you're saying she stole if you don't talk to her about the business between her and Stefon? You said she steals. How do you know that then?
You had some text messages with Mr. Diggs on December 13th, right after you got that email, didn't you?
I don't recall the date. I would like to see.
Let's go back to Exhibit 4. It's tab D, page 195. Let me know when you're there, please. You there?
Mm-hmm.
And again, this big blue text bubble right here at the top, that's from you, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you write to Steph on December 13, 2025, you sitting here playing in my face. It's 700 some comments and none saying you effing Lindsay. Not a one. So if I told someone that, why it's not in a blog, you're still talking about that blog, that anonymous blog that caused you to get mad at Steph on December 2nd, right? When he chose to believe Lindsay over you. I'll clarify. Thank you, Mr. Virtue. On December 13th, you're still mad about the issue that led to Steph believing Lindsay over you.
From my recollection, he didn't.
I'm sorry. On December 13th.
I can't answer that question correctly without the previous text from Mr. Diggs.
She keeps making me forget the question that's being asked.
You write not a one. So if I told someone that, why it's not in a blog? You believe it and now sign an NDA. Send me my money. You sitting here playing in my face. Isn't that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. You were mad about the NDA because you thought you had to sign it because Steph believed you leaked something, right?
Yes.
Didn't have anything to do with an assault.
What did you say? I don't understand your
You
question.
thought the fact that you were being asked to sign an NDA was an indication that Stefon still didn't trust you.
No.
Right?
No.
But you're talking about Lindsay and a blog to him the same day you get an email from Melissa asking you to sign an NDA, right?
Stefon knew that. I know.
Yes
so
or no
I
question,
can't
ma'am.
answer that question without explaining.
If
Sorry.
I told someone that why it's not in a blog, you believe it and now sign an NDA. Those are your words, right?
It was now signing it after you assault me. I had information on you,
You didn't
and you
say
think I
any-
was leaving.
Ma'am, it's not responsive. You didn't say anything.
Oh, they punch in that last hole because it does, at the surface, make him look guilty if he all of a sudden wants an NDA after he allegedly assaults her. But they're saying the text message when the NDA came up is because he believes she's out there just leaking information of the household and stuff. And she didn't write him back about, because if you're writing in passion or like you're upset, you're gonna say, you just want me to sign this NDA because of what you did to me. But she said, you think I wrote this blog and I didn't write this blog. It would have said other stuff had I leaked something or wrote. Oh, okay. So there's the whole we're punching in the NDA portion. Got it.
About an assault when you talked about an NDA, did you?
It does not change the fact that I was assaulted.
You talked about Lindsay in a blog and he
It
believed in
does not
Lindsay.
change the fact I was assaulted.
The first time you connected an NDA with an assault was when you went in to talk to Officer Ellis on December 16th to make a police report, right?
Yes, because I noticed the behavior.
And that was the same officer that you didn't need to be honest with about some of the details about your relationship with Steph, what happened on December 2nd, when you left your position, why you went back to his house on December 9th. True?
I don't understand the question. Can you repeat it?
All of those things that you said to Officer Ellis on December 16th were not true. You had a fight with Stefon Diggs on December 2nd over texts about Lindsay and a blog and him believing Lindsay. Not about money, right?
It was about money. The last text that I sent to Mr. Diggs was about money.
It was a bit of a compound question.
Yes.
It's true, Your Honor. Let's turn back to the text messages between you and Steph after you sent that text message to him on the 13th, connecting the NDA with Steph's believing Lindsay.
I didn't say believe in Lindsay.
There's no question in front of you at the moment.
You and Stefon got in another text argument about that issue, right? And if you could turn to page 201. The green bubble is Stefon, right?
Yes.
And he writes to you on December 13th. Here you go. Don't worry about Melissa, and you don't got to worry about working moving forward. I never told nobody not to pay you. They said you owed money. You knew that, right?
Dang, what she owe money for? Because y'all know I had to step out. But did they go over why she would owe money to them?
No.
You knew that Melissa calculated the receipts that you submitted and determined that you had been overpaid, didn't you?
No.
Okay. They said you owed money, says Steph to you on December 13th. Here go that bread you was supposedly owed, I guess. That's what he said to you, right?
Yes.
And he Apple paid you $2,000, didn't he?
Yes.
And then he left another $2,000 on the stair railing in his home for you.
And that was for the week that I was there.
That was for the week of December 9th when you worked, right?
Yes.
And he asked you 3 times in your text message, what else do I owe you? And you never gave him a number, did you?
I said they owe me grocery. I had given Sunny the grocery reimbursement, the person that was my contact for.
So she can't answer a question in her text messages or on the stand.
Giving receipts to.
I thought you just testified there was a mix-up with the numbers.
Yes, but I had talked to her about that. We had came up with the exact numbers after she added up the receipts.
You understood that Steph fired you that day, right?
I was leaving.
Okay. But you waited until he told you you don't have to work here anymore, and he paid you $4,000.
I came back for my money because I didn't have money to leave.
So the record's clear. You came back on December 9th.
To get my money that I was owed.
You worked. And then on December 13th, Steph told you you didn't need to work there anymore, right?
I'd already had in my mind that I was quitting.
But you didn't, though. He had to fire you.
I just came back to get my money.
You were furious with Steph on December 13th, weren't you?
No.
No?
No.
Do you remember that Shy Charles was actually at Steph's house that day?
Yes.
And she was braiding his hair.
Yes.
And she was staying downstairs. She was going to stay overnight.
Yes.
And she finished braiding his hair around midnight.
Yes.
And then you came down from your room to talk to Shy.
Yes.
And you did that because she was your friend.
My coworker. We were cool.
And she's the person.
Dang, Shy can't get no credit. I wonder did Shy do the braids he got in court today?
And you spent that week in New York with, December 2nd, the day you were supposedly assaulted, until December 9th, when you came back to the Dedham house, right? And you sat with Shy and you talked to her until 3 a.m, didn't you?
Yes.
You told her you were finished with Steph Diggs, didn't you?
I told her in the middle of the week I was coming back to get my money, and I was trying not to be there when she came to braid his hair.
You made Shy a kind of confession in that conversation, didn't you?
A kind of confession?
Yeah. You told her Steph was going to pay.
No, I did not. I do not recall.
I'm going to remind you you're under oath, and I'll ask you that question again. Did you or did you not sit with Shy Charles on December 13th, a few hours after you were fired from your job, and tell Shy that Steph Diggs was going to pay?
No.
Did you tell Shy you were going to sue Stefon?
No.
Your job and tell Shy that Steph Diggs was going to pay?
No.
Did you tell Shy you were going to sue Stefon?
No.
So after you were fired on the 13th, you stayed in the house, I think you said 2 more days, right?
I wasn't fired.
After Steph Diggs told you you didn't need to work there anymore and paid you all the money
That day you went back
that
to.
you claimed you were owed, you stayed in the house for 2 more days, right?
I had to get a plane ticket and I had to find somewhere to stay.
Okay. And then when you left his house, you went to the Dedham police station.
No.
You went to the Dedham police station on December 16th.
I left his house on the 15th.
You testified, and on your direct examination, you left on the 16th.
I left Stefon's house on the 15th. I went to the Dedham police station on the 16th.
Okay. And you told them he'd assaulted you 14 days before.
On December the 2nd.
And you had to pick a day that was long enough ago that it would explain why you didn't have any injuries, right?
Objection.
Sustained.
part of the lesson you were going to teach Steph was to make a false police report. Isn't that true?
Objection.
Well, I'll ask a different question. Your report that you made, it's missing a lot of detail. Would you agree?
Yes, I was afraid to tell the relationship between me and Stefon Diggs.
It's missing more than that.
No,
Right.
it's not.
In your opinion, it isn't.
It-
Okay.
It's missing more of the text that was shared in the morning.
Okay.
It would have exposed a lot of things, and I still was trying to protect him and myself.
You actually recanted your own statements, didn't you?
No, I can't.
So you know the criminal complaint in this case issued on December 29th. Right? You know
What?
that.
No, I don't know that.
Well, you were the complainant in the case. Is it your testimony you weren't notified that this case was going to be brought forward to the court?
I don't recall. I don't.
It was big news.
No one reached to me that I recollect.
You reached out to Steph's girlfriend at the time after this complaint was made public, right?
Because in the police report, I had not listened to the voice note. I just read the voice note. I was afraid she knew. I was afraid.
Ma'am, it's a yes or no question.
I can't answer that question.
After this complaint became public on December 29th, you reached out to Steph's girlfriend, didn't you?
I can't recall the date, but yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Counsel, actually approach Sizemore.
Whew. Woo. It's getting hot in that room for her. I think.
Going to
Okay.
recessing for the day. And I want to remind you not to discuss this case with anyone, including your fellow jurors, family members, or friends. And I also want to state you're not to allow anyone to discuss this case with you or in your presence. I'm going to ask you not to stop in the public areas of the courthouse, to leave the courthouse directly, and then tomorrow morning to return directly to the jury room, all right? And again, you must not read, watch, or listen to any news accounts or media reports about this case, and you must not conduct any independent investigation of any kind, including on the internet or otherwise. So please keep an open mind. Do not form or express any opinions about the case until it is submitted to you for your deliberation. We will resume tomorrow. I'm going to ask you to be in the jury room by 8:45. All right. With all of that caution, have a nice night, and thank you for your attention today.
Y'all, if I was a juror, oh my God, my face and my posture would be telling exactly where I'm thinking right now. They be like, the not the defense, the prosecution be like, all right, we lost a juror. She's not buying this at all. Because I could not control everything. I know you're not supposed to do too much movement, but I swear to God, I'd be holding the bridge of my nose. I roll my eyes a few times because this is just so bad. And then to be combative and you don't want to answer straightforward questions. Ugh. Yeah, it's all entertainment at this point. Academic, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Erica said if you can never answer any questions, you have no business suing anybody. Right. She's really going to break out in a sweat now. Yeah. I would. I would, Erica. I'm like, girl. Oh, and I just don't think I can control everything. I'm a giggle. Something's happening. This is why I would be kicked out. They'd be like, juror number 42 was replaced with, because no, she didn't know how to act. Right, back to that Ace Smooth shot. I'm not saying he didn't have a physical altercation with her, but I saw nor heard absolutely nothing to not have doubt. And that's the jury's charge. Sorry. They could only rule that way if they were beyond a reasonable doubt. And there is so much reasonable doubt in this one. So as we already know how this is going. I Okay, I have to. Okay, look, I gotta work. I work tomorrow. If I can, I want to get most of day 2 done tomorrow. But if I can't, Friday evening is my best time, or afternoon, whatever, is my best next time to try to do this. So hopefully tomorrow night we watch day 2. If not, we're gonna watch it Friday. So I hope y'all that came over here will come back and look for that. If you're a free member on Patreon, I do a live alert most times for the really good stuff, at least. And I also, if you're a YouTube member, you get the live alerts too. So that's the best way you'll know, because YouTube sucks. It's not going to notify you manually most times. But yeah, this was good. I didn't know it was like this. Thank you, academic. She acts like she was the defendant, right? Right, Erica. She said, I don't know what a criminal complaint is, ma'am. All right, y'all, but I will see y'all later. Have a good evening. Bye.